do it before. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. TGIF. The gang's back. Freestyle Friday's back. Arizona on deck. We might get a double dip from Spoonie tonight. Oh, I think we might get a little double dip from Spoonie. We got.
Feel it in the air.
Yeah, you just feel in the air a little bit. It's like we know the sermon's coming. Maybe a cornball lame dude named Bart Scott might have said something, and y'all know how Spoon operates. It might trigger him. Y'all know the drill, man. Let's go.
BJ Nix, are you here?
Present.
Present. Spoonie, Timothy Spoonie.
Present, sir.
Margaret and Mary. Do we have a Margaret and Mary?
Yes. And the margaritas.
All right. Here. We're ready. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Okay.
And the Cowboys have it. It's Parsons on top of it.
All right. We're off and married right on time, just as the intro slid right in. Perfect.
Yeah.
Got it right in there for sure. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic week, and thank you for stopping by and kicking off your weekend with the crew and gang. So first and foremost, Mary, how's your week been? How's your Friday? How is everything going?
I mean, I cried yesterday, so whatever.
The stages of grief we all went through.
Look, you know what's funny is that, like, I'm a girl, but I'm not really that emotional unless it comes to sports and other things like that. I cried when Dak Prescott got injured, and like I was eating lunch, I was enjoying my full burger when it was like, oh, he's on crutches. I was like, what? Crutches? And then I lied to myself for about an hour that it was okay. And yeah. It's not going good.
Salute to Roy. Yeah, I went into the gym, and when I'm in the gym, I'm just kind of locked in, and I have my phone, and I got my AirPods in. I'm just rolling. I got the music going, I'm hitting my sets, getting, on the treadmill, whatever, and messages kept coming in. Message, Pick Six Sports, message, Matt Owen, message, Mary, message, Spoonie, message, Madden 24 gang, message. I'm like, in the midst of that was happening in my head, I'm like, something really awesome happened or something really bad just happened. And I waited till I got to the hot box and I looked down, I'm like, mother. Yeah. Just like we can't have nice things. It's like we can't have nice things, man. Prayers, obviously prayers up for a speedy recovery. It is a clean tear when it comes to, if you've been living underneath the rock. Obviously, Trayvon Diggs, one-on-one drill Thursday, blows out the ACL. He's done for the season. The Cowboys have to move on. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll definitely get into some of that tonight for sure. How's the week? How's the thumb coming along? Are you about a week and a half now? Where are we at here now?
He trying to get injured. He trying to get re-injured. Let's just specifically say, because he's talking about these drills. Okay, and I told him not to re-injure it, but he's trying to.
Yeah, so the Thursday practice went by fine. Still have the brace on. I can do a little wiggle with the thumb, but I can't move this part. But yeah, it's going well. I think I have about another week and a half or so, and then I should be good to take it off. And then it'll just be that, kind of awkward, stiff phase, but it won't be in pain anymore, which is good. But I'm ready, man. If we weren't playing the Cardinals and they asked me, hey, Professor O, I don't know why we need you when there's tons of NFL free agents, but we need you this week. I could go. I could suit up. But I think they're going to play it safe. Mike McCarthy said, take the week off. We'll call you when we need you. We're good this week.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do some due diligence here with O. Make sure he gets all the way back. That's due diligence here.
We're going to take our time. We're going to see what's up.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, though. On Twitter, I said, look, I noticed I had my knee surgery earlier this year, but guess what? My ACL's good. And my ACL, my right knee is good. Take them both and give them to Trayvon Diggs.
Look, I got bad ankles, but one thing I do have is a good ACL, okay?
Yeah. Take it. Please take it. Whatever it takes, take it. My God. Go see. Look, I know Aaron Rodgers, he's got some weird techniques and things that he does. Man, call him up. Call him up and do what you got to do. I don't care. What's up, girl Jazz BLS in the building? Spoonie?
Hey, Jazz.
Spoonie?
Jazz Twitter. He's in there too.
I wanted to ask you about your week, but I understand we're not going to be able to get to that with you because of as soon as you touch down, we touch on the back channels. I know you feel some type of way. You possibly have a message for a particular guy from ESPN by the name of Bart Scott.
Yes.
We all feeling a little type of way.
Yeah. So with that being said, this is not counting for the Spoonie sermon, but Spoonie, it was on his heart. He felt some type of way. He wanted to speak about Bart and what happened today. So Spoonie, by all means, brother, the floor is yours.
Yeah, we all know the news about Trayvon Diggs going down at practice yesterday. It was very hurtful. He's a big time player for this Cowboys organization. And what hurts me more is that the sounds of the sideline came out the day before yesterday, and seeing his son, how much of a fan he was about the Cowboys and stuff like that, and the video ends with his son, and then they hit Thursday afternoon what happened with Diggs. It's kind of hurtful, and a certain individual in Bart Scott made a comment about Diggs. He trolled. I don't care what anybody said, it was trolling because his own colleagues kind of interrupted him to not, to correct what he did. And I want to say this. I try to be respectful as I can. You're a piece of garbage. Plain simple. You are a piece of garbage. You are a former football player who traded in your cleats for a suit and tie to become the type of people you was against when you was playing in the NFL. What is it about the Cowboys? They didn't want to draft you? Because for some reason, every time when there's injuries to this team, we're trolling, we're making fun. I thought the NFL was about a brotherhood. I thought when you call yourself as a black man, that's your brother right there. You reach out. You don't call somebody out. You don't smirk. How dare you? You're the type of guy that shouldn't even be on air. You should be peeling potatoes somewhere in somebody's cabin. Disrespectful. Piece of garbage. Yeah, I said it. Listen, I'm an average Joe. But see, here's the thing. I've been in war back and forth. I can talk about it and be about it. And I can talk about it all day long. You play in the trenches. You was given a gift for the hard work that you put in as a young man. You play this fucking game, one of the best players in the field. You mean to tell me that you didn't learn anything about character? You're working for these networks and y'all out there trying to copy an individual who's not even an athlete himself, who fiving guys left and right. How is that? What is it? You guys forgot what your balls are at? Or is it that your balls are the size of Raisinette candies? Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. It has to be.
Like they about this big. They about this big.
Out like that.
Like small. They
like
Raisinette candies.
Hold on, let me zoom in. Keep going, Spoon. Keep going, Spoon.
Raisinette candies, they about this big.
Understand? For you to call somebody else like that on national TV,
just for reference, I'm just saying, just for reference, they
the severity of the injury, that's disrespectful, and it should never happen. You know, and let's be honest. What is it? Because your career is not even close to what some of these young players are right now. What is it? Because the game has changed. I know what it is. Your game is whack. Your TV is whack. Your game. You still behind All-Pro and Ray Lewis. You collected some of the wins and X, Y, and Z standing behind him. You had the best seat in the house. Maybe you should take your seat and take your ass home and watch real folks know how to talk about the game, because you clearly forgot what it is. And I'm just being honest. Piece of garbage. And you know what? Garbage man comes on Wednesdays and Fridays. Hopefully you're around that corner waiting to get picked up because you smell like shit right now.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, look, Bart Scott has over the years has had, whether it's on FS1 or now ESPN, he's had multiple things to say. You know, it was Dak ain't it, and give me Teddy Bridgewater and flourish, and talking about Tom Brady versus the Panthers. He brought up Dak last year with the interceptions, was nothing to be there said about it. I mean, he's just said a lot of different things. He even think, it's in a contract, we have to mention them, dumb stuff. And then, of course, here in this moment, as we're talking about the injury to Trayvon Diggs and breaking it down, and then to go and look, right? And we know Stephen A's little take is an accident waiting to happen. But this doesn't really fall in that line. This is not really what that saying means. He's talking about a blunder, a fumble, an interception, ill-timed penalty. And he tried to roll that into something, basically using that with the Cowboys, something always, and using the injury in that realm. That's never what the intent of the accident waiting to happen to be. And shout out to Stephen A. Shout out to Ryan Clark. Immediately kind of stepped in and went that route. But I mean, Bartholomew, as Mr. Keeman has down here in the chat, man, it's just bogus stuff. And again, this is why I don't watch these shows personally. I'm gonna see these clips on Twitter either way. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see whatever happens. It's why I don't tune into these shows, man, because it's empty calories is what it is when you watch this stuff. Entertainment, I guess, it can be had there, but it's just empty calories. And look, I liked his tweet saying, "Never been called a lame." Well, look at me, Bart Scott. You're lame as fuck. Sorry, and you're a cornball. Do something with your hair. I don't know, but the shit's whack. And it's outplayed. Do your thing. We understand the Cowboys keep the lights on for these major networks. They got to get in there and talk about it. Man, just do it with context. That's all you got to do. There's things you could have talked about to say, "Hey, look, the Cowboys offense ain't there yet because they're not, converting in the red zone very good last week." I mean, there's different ways to do things, right? But I digress. Poor choice of words there from Bart. And it's just been a consistent history with him when it comes to the Cowboys. And anyway, he can kind of slide in and do Diggs. So I'm not surprised. I guess I should say, I'm not surprised by Bartholomew.
Yeah, to your point, I mean, he says nobody's ever called him lame in his entire life before. If they haven't before, which I have a hard time believing that, you have literally tens or hundreds of thousands of people agreeing that you're lame right now. That take was lame. Your excuse for it being out of context when you're smirking when you're saying it is lame. The entire thing's lame. Like Nick said, if you want to do the anti-Cowboys bit to get ratings, I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. Talk about you don't trust Deron Bland and the Cowboys secondary strength and how big of a loss it was and how that ruined our Super Bowl chances or whatever. Like, don't make the comment about Diggs' injury being the reason. Like, the whole segment was just bad. Like you said, you have to give kudos where it's due, and at least Stephen A. Smith and Ryan Clark kind of checked him. It's just a shame that you continuously see the same thing. Like, ESPN's done mass layoffs. How this guy keeps slipping through the cracks, I don't know, but it is what it is. So, like Nick said, you're lame, Bart Scott. It is what it is. Please do better. That's all I can ask. If you're gonna be on air and you're gonna talk, add some insightful comments. Add some flair to it. Do something that it at least makes you relevant, because right now the only reason you're relevant are comments like that you continuously make. So be better at your job. I'm over talking about him.
10-4. Well, Spoon, what'd you get off your chest? I know you're feeling some type of way. And of course, tonight is Freestyle Friday. We got the link dropped in here. It's pinned there. All you got to do, phone wherever you at, you can hit that link, come on. And of course, already, friend of the show, our guy, the Ginger Ranger.
Cooper Rush, baby.
Here. Cooper Rush is live in the building. How we doing, sir, on this Friday?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain. My knees are good, so I'm doing better than some people right now. So can always be thinking about perspective. I don't watch ESPN. I don't even have cable, so I'm glad I am away from all that. Just it's like high school.
Well, Tom, your guy, our guy, collectively Cowboys Nation's guy, but your guy especially, Penn State alum, Micah Parsons, absolutely dragged Bart Scott. Not only him, J-Ron Curse, Stephon Diggs, a bunch of players did, but Micah especially took, he didn't take that well. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm not saying Micah's going to go like knock on his door and fight him or anything, but there's definitely some bad blood there now.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of other content creators, and I see a lot of Cowboy fans.
First of all, how dare you?
I see a lot of Cowboy fans get really fired up about what some of these people say. So to me, most of the time, I just view them as characters. Some of them, it's just their script. That's their role, and they are good at it. And when people feed that fodder, they just make them grow bigger. But then there's times you have guys like Bart Scott, which Mike Francesca, I think, didn't even want him on the fan anymore because he was sick and tired of his crap. And Mike Francesca is known to have some pretty out there New York takes. And if he's saying this dude is garbage, that should tell you all you need to know. And of course, ESPN would hire him.
You know what's funny too? How does Max Kellerman get fired? Who, and I'm telling you right now, I met him at my wife's cousin's wedding. Good guy. And he was on Fox Sports before he went on to ESPN. How does he get fired? Why? He's to me, he's always been solid. I don't care about the criticism of to take the Cowboys as far as what you see on the field, X, Y, and Z. Never been a troller to me, in my opinion. But how does he get fired and you let somebody who signs paper with crayons and fingerprint stay on the job? I don't get it.
Reason.
We'll be here all night talking about ESPN politics. I don't want to go down that path. I mean, we'll be all night talking ESPN politics, so we'll pivot off of that. And we got another guy, somebody else in the building. One-handed bandit. How we doing on this Friday?
What's up, Nix?
Hey, what's going on,
great,
brother?
man. Just chilling, watching y'all. Glad I'm able to hop on.
Awesome, man. Welcome to the show. So let's spin the block here off of that, though. Let's go ahead and spin the block here off of the injury to Trayvon. The early reports are it'll be Bland outside. Jordan Lewis coming back into the slot. They're still ramping him up. He had 10 snaps, I think, last week. How many snaps does he get this week? How much are they going to, alter some of those things? Is it going to be a little bit more? Maybe see Mukwamu come back into the mix here and whatnot. But moving forward, Bland outside, Lewis inside. The Cowboys are very lucky and fortunate to have the depth, adequate NFL depth, where a Jordan Lewis, who's been a long-term starter in this league, is in the wings with this injury. You hate to see it. Ripple effects here for this defense, though. Look, I mean, Diggs is Diggs, right? We're not going to, we might like the depth, but Diggs is Diggs. What are you looking at here now that changes here against Arizona with Diggs being out and moving forward?
I mean, the timing of the injury obviously is definitely interesting because we just had Jordan Lewis, as you mentioned, kind of assimilate back into the game last week, got his little acclimation period, and we were expecting him to get more snaps this week anyways. But where it really becomes interesting is the safety room because Donovan Wilson is a go for this week, according to all the reports and the injury report updates and all the commentary we're hearing from, inside of the star in the organization. But that was one of the questions we were going to talk about tonight is what does that safety room look like? Because Wanye Thomas is getting a lot of snaps. Marquise Bell is getting a lot of snaps. Obviously, Bell's getting linebacker snaps. But what happens now that the big three safeties are back, kind of adds some areas of opportunity for the Cowboys from a strategy standpoint because we have a lot of versatility in that room, and having the deepest safety room in the NFL really comes into play right now when you're losing somebody like Trayvon Diggs. Obviously, there's no erasing an all-pro, Pro Bowl caliber cornerback. However, you have a Deron Bland who had 5 interceptions last year, already has an interception pick 6 this year. thanks to Trayvon Diggs. And he's playing well. I think his pass rating allowed so far is like 17.6 or something like that when targeted. He's like the third or fourth highest in the NFL. So you have him with a Jordan Lewis coming back into the mix. We haven't really seen Eric Scott. Maybe Eric Scott gets some snaps now. We have Noah Igbenogany that we made the trade for. Shout out to Kelvin Joseph. Hope he's doing well in Miami. But Noah's already made a big impact play for us on special teams. Does he start to get some defensive snaps on the outside? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see how that looks. And I don't know that we're really going to know that for at least 2 weeks because of the next two opponents being Arizona and New England. I think we may see more of what that room actually or what the plan looks like for the San Francisco game for Week 5. But I'm interested to see. I think we all know at this point it's going to be Deron playing on the outside, Jordan Lewis getting nickel snaps, but we also know that Donovan Wilson can get nickel snaps. We can do the same thing with Wanye. We can do it with Izzy Mukwamu. We can do it with Jaron Kearse. So I don't know that Jordan Lewis is going to get as many snaps as we think he's going to get because they may continue to slowly bring him back, maybe going from 10 to like 25 or something this week, especially based on the opponent and what we expect them to do.
10-4. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too, because back to Lewis and being, maybe some time to get him ramped back up after last week. It's the pass rush ain't go anywhere, right? Like that's where we're at. This pass rush didn't go anywhere, so you feel good about that. In that realm, I'm all intrigued to see what Dan Quinn does. I just, that's the other side of things. And I think, if this was a year removed or maybe 2 years removed, maybe we feel different. And look, we want Diggs to be here. That's okay. Dan Quinn can figure it out. We have some adequate depth over here. We got to wait and see, how they get to it. And of course, late in the week, right? It's hard to, you have it on Thursday practice. You got the game, so that makes it a little different. I think we'll get maybe a little bit more of an idea next week. You're saying San Francisco, I think at least maybe next week against New England because of just where this thing lays at right now. So there'll be something to keep an eye on. But I'll tell you what, this defense might be a little, be wary here, Spoonie. As things are happening, we're seeing Wanye Thomas talk about it. Micah Parsons talk about it. Jaron Kearse out here tweeting. I mean, they piss these boys off. Arizona might be in some trouble.
Oh yeah. Oh, listen. No spoil. That's part of my sermon later. I'm gonna keep it 100. See.
Oh, okay.
No. I can say. It's one thing. It's one thing that you want to play this game because you're tired of what the people are saying. The media, they're saying you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't compete X, Y, and Z. But another thing is that when you go and tap somebody on your team who makes a difference, who is a brother, who's growing up in this league with the guys around him, and when you somebody says the thing that they say, you're gonna take that personal as fuel, and you're gonna take it on somebody else. So best believe what they've been talking about. Like the Waterboy movie, you're gonna see all his face in everybody's body, and they're gonna go attack it.
It's so funny that Spoonie says that because I was joking around about that earlier today when I was talking to my dude, and I was like, and I've said it on the show before how Daniel Jones paid for the sins of the rest of the media. It's the same thing with Dobbs. It's like it's really not your fault, bro. I'm sorry. But
Bart Scott.
But when Micah Parsons said, "Keep my bro's name out your mouth," I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it's different.
I was like,
it's different.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
When it comes to the beef with what's his face, I think he just woke up a monster. Like, I'm not saying they weren't going to play great, but I think after what happened today, they're mad. Like, they're going to go out there and dominate and probably have their best game of the season so far. Because what's his name said was bull crap. Like, it was something that shouldn't have never been said. He should have apologized.
He was smiling like he was smirking.
Yeah, exactly. He should have apologized instead of saying, "Oh, it's this and that." No, he should watch that video back and be unbiased and look at it from the players' view and Cowboys Nation's view of how he worded what he said. Like, and as much as I hate Stephen A. Smith, I applaud him for stepping in and saying, no, we can't be like that at this moment. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's going to come back to it's an accident waiting to happen, whatever. But he understood in the moment of talking about an injury, you don't talk about that. You know what I mean? Same with with Clark. You know what I mean? So, and he was like, he really thought that they were all going to agree with him. And after that, he just went blank. Like he couldn't. All he said was, yeah. Like he was stumped. He didn't expect that.
And shout out to Ryan Clark because first off, he knew the backup plan. Like he had the players' names correct. Like he knew about Deron Bland. He knew about all these other options that the Cowboys actually do have. And he didn't sound unprepared when he talked about them. And, you know, I like people like that as far as in the media. Like, even if you agree with them, it's like, look, at least you're prepared. At least you know what you're saying. Like, people think that Cowboys fans just hate when people talk shit about them. But it's not about the fact that you're talking shit. It's about, like, that you are being contradictory. It's about that you aren't making sense. It's about that your points don't line up. Like, even if sometimes I don't agree with Mina Kimes sometimes. Sometimes I don't agree with Ryan Clark. Sometimes I don't, even Dan Orlovsky. But a lot of times you can understand, okay, at least their points, okay, I can see where they got that from. And that's cool, even though I disagree, but it makes sense. You know, they got to this place for a reason. But when people are just coming from a place of bias or being an actor or a hater, that's what people don't understand. And that's where people in Cowboys Nation get upset. And that's very warranted, 1,000%.
And Clark is the analysis that I do like, because you go back to the offseason before the season even started. He came out and said, we're going to have the number one offense. He did a whole in depth of all the pieces we have. Like, I posted that on TikTok of that little snippet, and I got about, like, I think it was like 62,000 likes, got me a couple thousand followers. But, yeah, I respect him. He's probably the only analysis that I really like.
Yeah, he's always
real. And he backs up what he believes. He backs it up instead of being an actor and thinking that he could just say whatever and just trying to get a rise out of Cowboys Nation. You know what I mean?
But, you know,
that's simple.
That's because, and that's also because, you know, with DRC, what I respect about DRC is from day one. All right, I'm not going to be too long with this, but he had his beef with Stephen A. coming in, is what it is. But he's his own man. In every take, he's his own man. While you got others who wants to follow behind one man who never even played in the NFL, doesn't know anything about the NFL, don't speak about the NFL. But what you want to do is troll, clickbait for us fans to go and click in. And see, this is where I always tell the fans, at the end of the day, when you come out with certain thoughts, who are you getting it from? You're getting it from them. And the thing is, Dak Prescott is the bulletproof vest for all 31 quarterbacks in the NFL. Let's be honest. Half the shit that has anybody talked about Trevor Lawrence throwing 4 interceptions in the playoffs? How about, I didn't see a long segment on Josh Allen's giving up the game against the Jets. I didn't see Deshaun Watson about a refund, about the highest guaranteed contract.
We talk about it very lightly. Very lightly.
Tyler Beat's good to go for the game. Lunatic.
Yes.
Good to go for the game.
Yeah, he's playing. I think, fingers crossed, they're all going to play together for the first time ever.
That's what it looks like. At least the offense should be whole. The offense should definitely be whole for the first time this year.
Yeah. Sorry, Spoonie, but keep going.
No. It's just garbage. The way it is, and at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, as fans, you know, you guys have a choice of who to watch and what information you want to get. And at the end of the day, this is not a paid spot over here. But at the same time, the work is being heavily done. I mean, you see Professor, you see BJ, you see Miss Mary. Hell, even when Toxic Donnie comes up, we can have our fun. We can do it, but at the end of the day, nobody leaves without value information about what's really going on instead of the trolling part. This is why Cowboy fans right now are still up in the air. They don't know whether to wipe their ass right-handed or left-handed when it comes to Dak Prescott. Is he a good quarterback or a bad quarterback? When you're inconsistent with certain things, what happens? You leave shit on your hands. So the whole point is this. Be consistent, which they're not consistent, never will be. There are takes out there that you say this one week, the other week you say something else. One week, the Giants. They're going to beat the
Greg Jennings is still up there trying to say that Daniel Jones is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
There you go.
And they're not even talking about Daniel Jones.
He's still out there
in picks right now.
On the
$40 million.
Greg Jennings, he has not relented at all.
Did you watch the Niners game last night? Did we see a dominant performance against the Giants? I mean, shit, we had 26-0 by halftime. It's 17-12. That was the halftime game for the Giants. But here's the thing: nobody talked about how the Giants took not fully there. There's no Barkley, not playing their best player,
and Thomas
took them there, and the penalty calls, of course, kept them alive. But nobody's talking about that.
Professor Olio, get comfortable. Me and Spoonie on one tonight, okay?
Come on.
I'm just chilling, enjoying. I'm just chilling, enjoying my gentleman Jack. I'm good. I'm good over here.
We on one. We ready.
Yeah. I mean, do you think?
We're not even supposed to be talking about this game, but whatever. I'm feeling
it's trash, and I tell you this right now, the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Don't interview nobody with that four-letter network. What you're gonna do is raise your middle finger up in the air, walk like this with the trophy in one hand, and keep walking to the locker room. Enjoy that drink. That's what I would do. You know why? At the end of the day, if you never believed me then, you ain't gonna do it now. And one thing is, I ain't no damn. There ain't no damn puppet to. It's sad. Just freaking sad how some of these guys come from playing in the NFL to become puppeteers. Puppeteers with strings on their fucking back. That's just trash, garbage. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself that even a freaking person who works at a bank for 24/7 gets to on the air, gets to talk about how your game was. You're trash. They're all just trash. They copycat one off each other because they want the big pay. At the end of the day, you're puppeteers. Even that show with H.O. and the other two.
I mean, let him cook, DJ. Let him cook. I don't know.
It is. Hey, you know what's bad too? How is it that your family playing in the NFL, you got a tight end coming out LSU, and you don't know what you're talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. One minute is this, 1 minute is that. Inconsistent. Here's the kicker. You know why the ratings are bad, producers out there? Because you don't got the real people there. You got actors. This is not One Life to Live. It's not a soap opera. This is people want to talk real football. Shit, I'm not gonna endorse myself, but I know plenty of others who will earn their checks the right way and get more viewers than with the clown shit that we see on TV. I mean, seriously, I'd rather watch Eagles fans eat horse shit all day than watch what they got to say, because at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, you're not giving nothing new. You're not being real. You're not being humble. But you know what? You're going to pay for it, because at the end of the day, when we in the Super Bowl in February, you're going to watch something that you don't want to watch. We're going to enjoy it at the end of the day, and we're going to celebrate. We're going to be those Cowboy fans that you can't stand. We're gonna celebrate. Every year we go in the Super Bowl. We're gonna ignore the whole shit. And when that happens, guess what? Guess what? We're still gonna be riding.
Yeah.
What we do.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Out of your system, Spoon? You good?
Not really.
Okay. I understand.
Not really. That was 5%. I got 95%.
That was only 5%. That was only 5%. Okay.
Look. We had Chef Spoonie in the building. I mean, Chef Spoonie.
But let's keep it real. Why don't we get the real people back in there, like Keyshawn, like Jamel Hill, real people who understand the sports? Why are we watching watching clowns. We're not in April. The suckers come out in April. Seriously. Here's another thing. Why are we paying $15.99 a month for ESPN? For what?
Oh no, I don't pay that. I don't do that. I don't do that. You know what? I don't pay that.
Promo code. There's a promo code. Idiots to watch.
You want idiots to
watch? We got a movement. Hold on. Well, I'll let you get back to it. Chris Davis, can I get a wrench? Is it time? Is it time in 2023?
It's crap, man. Crap.
Okay, Spoon. Let me do this part and you can go right back. Just give me like 5 seconds.
I'm sorry,
I got two things. Yeah, I got two things, Spoon. And as soon as it's done, I'm gonna mute and pour me another drink and you go right for it. I ain't even mad.
I got you.
Candy get no. Now somebody was in the background waiting, dadgummit. Now I couldn't get him up because we couldn't keep going. Splenda Poppy, come back. I was trying to get you up. I'm sorry. It was coming soon. Blame Spoonie. I wanted him to cook. He cooks. But real quick,
Spoonie did
Chris
cook.
Davis. Yeah, Chris Davis. Ready. Wrench Gang members already that are here. Are y'all ready to add? Are we ready to add to the mod squad, the Rich Gang? What we got? What y'all? I mean,
Spoonie's like,
Chris Worthy.
Speaking of, can I get a wrench? If I had a wrench right now, I would throw that at Bart Scott immediately and like, Spoon, come on, man, calm down.
Toxic Tom says approved. All right, approved. Swan approved.
Explain.
All right, Mendoza, where you at? Damn, Rhodes, I need a lead pipe. Hold on, man. Hey, first 48 could be watching. Chill. Don't do that. Splenda Poppy with the wrench, Martin. I mean, I think
I say yes.
Up Mendoza with the thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome the newest member to the Wrench Game. Let's make it happen. Get Chris Davis a wrench, baby. The Wrench Game adds one tonight. Light it up with wrenches for Chris Davis in the building, man. Light it up for him. Awesome. With that being said, Splenda Poppy will be back here in a second. If Spoonie, if it's okay, I would just like to talk about the Cardinals for a second, if that's cool.
I'm good.
By all means, but go ahead. Go ahead. I gotta go make this guy. I gotta get this guy
Is it
real
okay?
quick. So
is it okay if we talk about the Cardinals for just a little bit?
Yes, ma'am.
But
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Are you sure? I mean, if not, by all means, the floor is yours.
I mean, listen, we all know what's garbage.
Oh wait, hold on.
I don't know. Let me go. He's ready again. Now go ahead, Spoon.
We all know we're watching this garbage. I mean, let's keep it real, man. I mean, it's plain trash. You know, after we beat the daylights out of the Cardinals, what are you gonna? It's just the Cardinals. It's just the Cardinals. But I guarantee you, they picked the Cowboys to lose. It's definitely trash. And I ain't apologizing for it.
Hey, but one thing. Okay, look, I'm sorry. I'm about to egg it on. But Bart Scott, when he was responding to Mark, he's like, "You took it out of context." How can we take your whole face and your whole conversation that we literally saw and heard with our own eyes out of context? It wasn't a headline. We saw it. You literally said what you said, and you was like barely holding back a smile. Like we saw it. We didn't take it out of context, bro. Don't insult our intelligence, you stupid
AirPods.
Square face MF. I didn't say the words.
but Miss Mary, not only that, you saw the facial expression already coming out.
I'm saying,
finish.
I'm sorry, I got him riled up. I'm sorry. All right, we gotta stop, Spoonie. Okay, we good. We gotta stop.
Can I talk about the Cardinals real quick? The thing about the Cardinals, the biggest thing we have to do to the Cardinals is stop the run, because James Conner's been doing pretty well. I think we're gonna be able to stop the run. We did it against Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook, who I would say are better backs for sure. But it's the same mentality as they said last week. You gotta stop the run to earn the rush. You know, you gotta earn to rush. You gotta earn to get to the quarterback by stopping that run. And I think we're gonna be able to. But from what I saw from Okoye, they like running to the outside. So we gotta make sure
Can you hear me?
Contain.
Awesome. I can't hear none of y'all. So I'm guessing, is Spoonie still going? Just give me a thumbs
No,
up.
oh no, somebody else was talking. He was good.
I can't hear you. You're moving your mouth. I can't hear you. I got things on the back end. Yeah, down bottom. Okay, cool. Yep. All right. Yep. On it. Looking.
He's talking.
Okay, don't see
but
nothing
he
there.
Had good points. He had good points.
Let me see if
yes.
This is also the new Rich Gang members' fault, by the way. because I opened up my phone. I forgot that the Bluetooth was on, and it moved my AirPods over there, and now I can't get the audio back over here on my side. So it's a bad look out of the gate for the new guy.
Did I miss the
So
thing
what I'm going
about
to
your
do is
bucket
I'm going to
hat?
drop down, and then I'll just add myself back, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Sounds
all
good.
right.
One-handed bandit. Go ahead. Keep going. So you said you were watching Okoye. They like to run.
Yeah, they like running to the outside. I watched Koya's video he posted a couple days ago. They like running to the outside with James Conner, so we got to make sure we contain.
Yes, definitely.
And then Dobbs, he's a one-read quarterback. From the film that Koya did, he's a one-read quarterback because on that touchdown he had last game where he ran it in for a touchdown, he had a guy wide open just going across the middle he could have thrown to, but instead he tucked it and ran. And that's not going to work against this defense. Maybe he may get it one run here, one run there, but you look at last week, from what Dan Quinn said, everyone was mad when Zach Wilson got into field goal range before halftime last week. So they're not going to they're going to try their best not to let that happen. And Dobbs loves throwing it to Zach Ertz, and so we have Jaron Kearse who's going to be able to stop that. But if I were to give my score predictions, as long as our defense is still holding up, which I think they will, I think Darrell and Glenn will be fine. I think we can put at least 30 to 40 points on them. And that's just my opinion, especially with Brandon Cooks coming back. But yeah, that's all I got to say.
So one-handed bandit mentioned that on the I pulled the overlay up for you guys to take a look for those that maybe haven't watched Arizona film or watched their regular games in broadcast, either one. But here's the rushing numbers for the Cardinals, both on offense and defense. So he mentioned they like to run outside. So if you're looking at it, they have 14 runs to the right outside. They have 16 runs to the left outside. They have run up the middle more than anything else. But if you're looking at outside runs in general, adding the left and right side, obviously they do like to attack the edges. Looks like the left side of the line is not as good as the right side of the line because they're averaging over 5 yards a carry on the right tackle and just under 10 when they rush to the right end versus 5.5 and 3.29. So there's the numbers if you want to get a quick look at it. And then the defensive side of the ball, it's the opposite. They're not good.
Yeah, you look at them from last week. The Giants have struggled against the run, and we have three dominant D tackles that are able to stop the run in Hankins and Osa and in Mozzie, who is still coming up, but he's been solid since the season started.
Cool. But I can hear everybody now. Yay.
Hi.
So one-handed bandit was just talking. I was in your spot, which is why I was pointing down, not at the comments. I was trying to let you know that he was talking. He just got done saying one thing he wants to talk about with the game. He gave a score prediction. I'm going to let him say that one more time so you can hear it. But he was talking about watching film, Okoye's breakdown, and how the Cardinals like to attack on the edge. So stopping James Conner is basically the key to stopping their offense. One-handed bandit, floor is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then just stopping Zach Ertz. I think as long as Darren Lane holds up, which I think he will, I think we can score at least 30 to 40 points on them, if not 50, but we'll have to see.
Oh,
especially
Cook one-handed bandit. Keep going.
No, especially since we put 30 on that Jets defense without Brandon Cooks, and now we get Brandon Cooks back. Like,
Nick, he said 30 to 40, and then you jumped on and he was like, or 50.
Maybe. But I think we're gonna destroy them. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna destroy them.
Okay.
Cool. What's next? Oh.
So the rest of the panel hasn't talked about the game yet. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think about the Cardinals matchup. We're gonna dissect it into small pieces. We're going to talk about the Cardinals defense matching up against the Cowboys offense, and then we'll do offense versus defense.
Raise the nut size.
Yeah, raising nuts.
Like Tony said earlier.
I want to start out with Mary, ladies first. Mary, how do you think the Cardinals defense matches up with the Cowboys offense? Is there anything that you're worried about with this matchup at all? Obviously, they're 0-2, but they've been competitive in both games. They had a big lead against the Giants. And the Commanders, they were right there the entire way. They've had a lot of sacks this year. So is there anything in particular that you're afraid of or you think may pose challenges from the Cardinals defense versus our offense?
Honestly, I don't want to be one of those people, but I I completely respect what they've done thus far. But I expect that they would do that against what we've seen thus far. I'm not surprised. Not one bit. And I don't think anybody else on this panel is surprised, especially with the Giants O-line. I just think that we are their test. I don't even know if they want to win still. But if they do, we are their test.
No, they showed us against the Giants last week. When we're cooking against them, and then at halftime they're like, "Oh, we do want Caleb Williams, though.
Give it up, yeah.
Let's just chill for the second half."
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's very hard to tell, like, if they really want it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think they do, and I think they can show it, but they show it against a bad team in the beginning, but against a team like us. The only way they really Bart Scott. I just realized Spoonie changed his ad. Oh
he did
God.
it. I changed that while he was cooking. I was just being nice.
And once again, he didn't get it.
Just realized.
I just noticed it too.
Okay. Anyways, no, but yeah. Okay, I just lost my whole train of thought. But yeah, 1,000%. They do have some weapons. Carlos Watkins, I think, is out and he's injured, and he's been great for them. But for the most part, yeah, I think we can definitely handle them. Yes, I'm not worried about that.
I'm gonna get to Tom in a second, but I want to give. No, Mary, you're done. Your time's done.
No.
Joey Veal's trying to join 3 times now. While he's here, we're gonna let him talk. Joey, what's up, brother?
My bad, brother. I don't even know how to run this shit, so I keep on going in and out. But I just wanted to shout out to Pick 6 because look at this gear. Look at the fit.
Oh, 7-Eleven. I like it.
Yes, sir.
My very first time ever jumping on Pick 6, I won this. So
wait, what does the bottom say? What does the bottom say?
Hits around every corner.
Oh,
7-Eleven.
nice.
7-Eleven.
One of our contest winners, man. Appreciate it, brother.
I like it.
Shout out.
He just got some. No, stay. He just got some ES22s. We have to bring that up because the Cowboys have won every game by blowout fashion since we started talking about Reebok ES22s.
I told Nick's on Facebook, but I didn't want to bring it up because they're actually at my sister's house right now. It was easier shipping it to her than to my location. That's why.
It's okay.
But the point is, you landed them. Okay. You landed them. That's all that matters, sir. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, you got them.
After being a dad, you don't want to spend so much money on yourself on little things like that and all that necessities. Mm-hmm. But if it was going to be a cowboy shoe that I'm going to wear for myself and, for everything, bro, those had to be it, bro. Once I saw Professor O post them up, dude, I fell in love. I was like a little kid at the candy store. I was like, oh, shit, those are it. Yeah, and sure enough, man.
It's important as a dad to still do stuff like that because then when I don't know how old your child is, but when they're older, or if they're old enough now, you can go ahead and show them, see, dad's still cool. And if not, when they're older, you can show pictures of you wearing those. And they'll be like, oh, my dad used to be cool back in the day. So it's worth keeping that. Just to remind your kids, you've always been a dad. You were cool prior to being a dad. Now you spend more money on them, but you still every once in a while got to get yourself something nice.
The drip game's still strong with
cool in the eyes of their children.
Pause.
But
pause. My daughter thinks I'm cool. I don't know. She used to.
Hey, I mean, producer Jay, she's way cooler than you, BJ.
Oh, thanks. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm 10 toes down on that.
Oh, your wife. Let's be clear.
Yeah, that's factual. That's factual, man. I just stay in my lane, find my crevice. But yeah, man, salute, man. They'll be coming up. I'm glad you got the shoes. I know we were talking about it on Facebook, so supremely happy, man. Man, the ES22 gang over here now coming strong. We got who else in the chat got the ES22s, by the way? Since they dropped last week. Drop it in the comment section and when they got those ES22s real quick. Oh, there you go.
He went to go get them.
Spoonie, are your ES22s closer? Are they on your feet right now?
Yes. Hold on a second.
I already knew. I knew he had them on. Of
course he did. I felt it. Yes.
All right, so now we get to do our shoe review. So this is the 2012 edition.
Hold on,
which had the cool brownish color there, and the new version has black, so you can see.
Much better.
And on the back, it was just silver, said Reebok 22. And then the new version said, if I can get both on,
Shimmery.
has like a
Yeah.
shimmery.
The new
It's not
version.
that. You can't see it, but it's cool. It has like a cool. There we go.
Yeah,
There you
it
go.
is.
Kind of like an opal type of thing. I don't know what's going on. It looks good though, like hologram.
I like opal. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. Look, Spoony. Yeah, there you go. I knew Spoony had him on his feet. That's why. Oh, you didn't have to run. Spoony had him close by. Oh, Spoony, give that 360. Hold on, Spoony, give that solo layout for everybody.
Those are, you know what? Those are.
See, I'm not going. Look, I ain't gonna lie to y'all right now. All of a sudden, because I haven't showed mine on camera, I'm feeling shoe shamed, even though I got 2 pairs over there. But I'm gonna let y'all do it. People are gonna start calling me to.
Are those shoes limited edition? Like you only get a certain amount of time to get them, or are they just on?
So
I don't know how long they're gonna run them.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're gonna sell them on Reebok. I think Hibbets and a few other websites have them too. Foot Locker probably does too. But they're gonna have them available until they sell out. They did retro them previously, which is that first pair I showed you. That was in 2012.
Yeah.
I honestly doubt that they'll retro them again after this because they usually don't retro shoes more than once or twice, and this is the second run already. So if you can get them, great. If you wait until after the holidays, they probably will drop in price. They're like 180 right now, probably looking more at like 140. You wait till after the holidays, but obviously that's depending on you having a shoe size that's more common, but there might be more volume of that. So
yeah, I'm definitely.
They do discriminate against kid sizes. Just to let y'all know. They discriminate. I don't know. I don't know if any of y'all wear kid sizes, but they discriminate. Yes.
I'm at 10 and a half. I think I'm good.
Yeah, you have a more common size, so you'll probably be okay. But if you're like on the smaller or higher end of the spectrum, they usually don't have the same amount of those stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So Tom, Cardinals defense, their defense versus our offense.
Bloodbath. Look, I don't see as a unit. This is the same dude that was coaching with the Eagles that lost the Super Bowl that went up and then took the blame for it as a Cardinal. Dude's a loser. But just looking at this Cardinals unit as a whole, it just reminds me of playing Madden when you're like years later and Nick's, watch out, you got the cops behind you, man.
I don't know. You said bloodbath and the law.
Yeah. They just have a bunch of names that I'm willing to bet if you would play the game Costco worker or not to the average person, they would have to go, I don't know who that is. So that's just look, I've watched some Cardinals games. My dad's a Giants fan. So
I didn't know this information.
So when I was watching him nearly pull his hair out, I just watched the Cardinals. They play really well, but they just don't have enough of anything. Like, I wish I could be nice about this team. They have a few guys I like Zaven Collins, but even that, it's one dude. So I think Mike McCarthy.
Buda Baker. Buda Baker is solid.
Buda Baker's out.
I like Buda Baker.
Oh, he's out?
Buda Baker's
He's out.
I was gonna say,
I don't know what can you say positive about the Cardinals other than this year will end. Like,
that's it. Zaven Collins.
They're in draft. I hate to say it. Like, they're literally 2 weeks into the season. They're in draft mode already.
And the sad thing about
what can you say about the Cardinals other than their season's going to end?
Yeah,
they got new uniforms. They got new uniforms and they're looking forward to the draft.
God.
Well, the sad thing about the Cardinals, if they get the number 1 pick, Caleb Williams came out and said if it's a team that has the number 1 pick that he doesn't want to go to, he'll stay in college because gets those NIL deals. He gets paid more than enough.
No, it's not. I know he said that. That's just a power play. Him hoping that something falls in the draft. Just so you guys know, to be clear, the NIL money that he's according to On3, which does a really good job on NIL deals, he makes about $2.6 million a year in NIL money. That's a lot of money for a college player. Yeah. However, Bryce Young just got a $22.5 million deposit in his bank account this year.
Yeah.
The amount of money you get in the NFL compared to college is light years apart, night and day.
Yeah.
Saying that, like, I don't have to because I have this money, but at the same time, realistically, there's always the chance that you can get injured. There's always the possibility somebody else could be, the big hot thing. Maybe Shedeur Sanders with a second year of playing, Power 5 football. You never know what's going to happen when you have the chance, especially knowing this year I can get drafted by a team number 1 overall, get a lot of money, and I can hand pick my favorite weapon, I can tell him I want Brock Bowers, I want Marvin Harrison Jr., I want whatever receiver he wants, or whatever offensive lineman I want to protect me, because they're going to have 2 top 5 picks, probably 2 top 3 picks. Like most quarterbacks don't get that luxury. They're drafted first overall, and they have to hope they get a wide receiver year 2 or 3. He has that, so there's no way he's not going to go.
I agree as far as
cooking.
When O says like the money is, even though you're still like you're getting money, and there's a big difference in what you get as a first round pick versus what you get as a NIL player. But ultimately, like somebody who like it's still an incentive as far as like, I used to be poor, and I gotta get to the NFL because I'm poor.
Why'd you do it like this?
Going?
No, pause. I used to be poor.
But I'm saying because the point is like if why players used to really rush to the NFL is because I need to take care of my family.
Yeah, they weren't getting NIL deals at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now it's like I can take care of my family on this NIL deal, and I can still wait for the right position for me.
When is that going to be though? Like every year, the worst team gets the number 1 pick. So this year's in the same position the next draft.
I 1,000% agree with that.
I mean, he can Eli Manning it though. He can Eli Manning it.
He can do that shit though.
You play it to the bone. Like teams don't have the upper hand that they used to, knowing now that the top player has so much access to money and attention and all this other things. But I 1,000% agree. Yes.
I think Caleb Williams would be an absolute fool to stay another year in college. I'll just, before we get into that, I think you'd be an absolute fool. That it's guaranteed money right up front. And I think he's playing the only leverage that he has, because I think he doesn't want to go to a team that's actively
getting ready for Modern Warfare 3, Chris. He's getting ready for Modern Warfare 3.
But back to
he's going to be okay. He's going to, I guess.
To the original question, Fresero, I mean, you could probably start on this Cardinals defense right now. They'll get better, I think, as the season gets on, but I think Dallas can really have their way. If anything, I'm really excited just to see the top 5 starting unit together for the first time. I viewed this week on A to Z Sports as this is our tune-up game, our D2 school. We're playing Bethesda School of the Blind. Go out there and just mollywop those ass wipes. I think
that's really what we need to do. That's really what we should do.
This is our 3rd preseason game.
Preseason game. There'll be more fight than this. And go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm excited to see Dono back. Donovan Wilson. Because our defense is already dominant. I want to see how more dominant it's going to be with Dono playing middle linebacker. Because he's elite. He's phenomenal.
He's not going to be playing middle linebacker. Donovan Wilson's not going to be playing middle linebacker.
But you know what I mean? Sometimes he comes down. Sometimes he'll play safety. Dan Quinn loves doing that sometimes.
Yeah. So, Spoonie, how do you feel about this matchup from the Cardinals defense versus the Cowboys offense?
Oh, God.
I feel bad for them. I really feel bad. The only bright spot they have is Xavier Collins at linebacker. That's really it. In my opinion, we could go for the matchup with some of these cats at corner. Young guys. Their 2 best defensive players are out. Like one is out, and that's Budda Baker. Xavier Collins, I'm a big fan of him from the NFL draft. He's the only thing they really have. They blitz a lot. They play a little bit of zones a lot of times. Which Gannon, he knows us from being in Philadelphia, but I'm sorry, you don't got enough juice to do anything to us. Nothing. No disrespect, we're gonna molest them.
Well, there goes our monetization.
I'm sorry.
The police are back. The police are back.
I apologize.
My man said we're gonna molest them.
The ops are here.
I apologize. I'm gonna say this.
We've lost our control right now.
We're gonna dominate them. That's a better word for it.
Sorry, I'm still amped up a little bit. I apologize.
Don't pull a Bart Scott over there. All right, come on.
I'm sorry.
Now.
I'm just angry. I apologize. Bad wording on me. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I mean, I used to be the adult supervision, but now I'm not the adult supervision, so I don't know.
So
who's
I've
gonna
noticed,
be the
Mary.
adult
Mary,
supervision.
Mary, I've definitely noticed the first 3 weeks. I've already figured that out from you. There's no more
Mary
ringing.
now is the lighter fluid person, and Spoonie's over here with a flamethrower, and Mary's just dousing it down. Like, go ahead, Spoonie, put a little bit more in there. Mary's this close to taking a little bit more lighter fluid.
Yeah.
Mary's feeding me. She's feeding me.
I don't know what's going on.
She's
I
feeding
don't
me.
know. I'm sorry,
She's feeding
guys.
me. I apologize, y'all. That wording on me, I didn't mean disrespect like that. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Somebody else, I don't know.
How do you feel about this matchup from
I
a
think
defensive
Matt
standpoint versus our offense?
Matt, you're next up. It's got to be you. I don't know. It's got to be you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Nix.
Back to you, Matt.
All right, so
No,
I
got
feel
something.
about this matchup.
No,
Go ahead, Nix.
I got something. I think it's very simple. I think the offense is going to activate, and they're going to activate by proxy. It's not they're going to do anything amped up from play calling or anything else. This defense, the one thing the Arizona defense does well, they blitz to get to the quarterback. I mean, that's the defensive coordinator, defensive coordinator from the Eagles, right? 72 sacks last year, whatnot. You watch them against Washington. They got to somehow they were getting to Danny Dimes, Danny Pesos, Danny I can't throw a rock. I don't know what his name is these days. And that's what they do defensively. On the back end, it's barbecue chicken. Yeah, I mean, they don't have anybody to cover. So, yeah, I think for those, to me, those have been waiting for the offense, or they're like, oh, well, they're playing complimentary and whatnot. I don't think they're going to design anything spectacular. What does Dak do the best is play action against the blitz. They're going to blitz, and they have nothing on the back end, and Brandon Cooks is back. This offense is about to, I think, go nuclear. Now I'm done.
All right.
I'm sorry. It's funny that
Go ahead, Mary.
I'm back in the game now. I'm back. I'm good. But
let Mary cook.
The coach Gannon of what's
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Of them,
they're that irrelevant. They're that irrelevant. Sorry.
So he was asked about Dak, and he was like, "Oh, he can do this. He can do this. He can do this. He can under blitz. He can do this. Under pressure, he can do this. When we're hanging back, he can do this." And he just named so many things, and it was like, well, just talk about what he can't do, but he couldn't talk about what he can't do. Like he just kept talking about.
Yeah, he understands that Dak is gonna go crazy on that defense.
Yeah, he just kept talking. He kept talking, which is, it's lovely. I love the fact that, all these coaches and offensive, defensive coordinators, all these players talk about Dak the way he should be talked about. But when you talk about him on TV, it's like, oh, he can't do this. He can't do this. He can't do this. And all of them were like, he can't do this. But everybody else is like, oh, no, he can do this. He does this. It's just crazy to me.
10-4. Mary, are the biscuits done now? You through cooking?
I'm done cooking. I'm sorry. My bad.
Okay. No, you're good. You're good. Matt, look, I know Matt has been ready to get this graphic up for a very long time. I want Matt to get this graphic up and land his plane.
I do. Okay. So for
there
those
it
that
is.
haven't had a chance to see the defense, we showed you the rushing defense. Actually, let me show you that first. Rushing defense for the Cardinals is on the right side. So as you can see, the entire interior is easy money. You can run for about 4.5 to 6 yards per carry if you run inside. Outside, they've been okay, pretty good. But if you run inside, it's going to be ugly. So passing defense, we talked a little bit about that. You guys did. Their cornerbacks are former Louisville cornerback. If you watched draft coverage with us earlier this year, shout out to you. Keitrell Clark and Marco Wilson, somebody that we mock drafted in like round 5 and 6 on a lot of mock drafts from Florida. Their cornerbacks are not good. They're day 3 guys who, they're doing the best they can. From a pass rushing standpoint, they have 10 sacks this year, so they've done a pretty good job with that. What's interesting though is they're not blitzing this year. That's one thing that Gannon did for the Eagles. They're not blitzing at all this year. So the league-wide average is 25% blitz rate. The Cardinals are 8.4% blitz rate this season. It's only 2 games, so maybe he's saving it for us. I don't know. But so far, they haven't actually blitzed. They've been getting pressure up front. And the guys that we have to worry about are Dennis Gardeck, Victor Dimakije, Cameron Thomas, any name there, kind of jumping out. Obviously, when you get 10 sacks and 30 pressures through 2 games, you are being productive from a pass rushing standpoint. What they are doing is you're seeing some 4 and 5 man fronts, and they're doing a good job with stunts. They obviously were able to play some weaker offensive lines. The Commanders' offensive line is not super strong.
Yeah.
The Giants' offensive line is abysmal. So, as you can expect when you play teams like that, you're going to be more productive in pass rush. I'm not really concerned with their defense at all. Budda Baker is an impact player, and he's out. Budda Baker playing is not going to save the Cardinals this week. It would help, obviously, but he's not going to save the Cardinals. So, from a defensive standpoint, matching up against our offense, I think they are in a world of trouble. I think this is the game where our offense starts really cooking, like Nick said earlier. Some of the things that we haven't been able to see or do well yet, I think you're going to see that kind of turn around. Now, flipping it, I'm going to go the opposite order this time, so we're going to start with Nick's. The Cardinals offense versus our defense. Anything there at all that you want to highlight? This could be real quick if you guys want to this part.
Oh, whoa. Don't rush me, Don't rush me. Everybody had time to stretch their legs, land these
Go ahead, Nick.
Don't you dare rush me right now.
I'm not trying to rush you. Go ahead, sir.
No, I'm just joking. Look, right, Dobbs likes to run a lot of one read option, or one read, and he's not reading the whole field. That's not what he's doing. He's getting there. It's not there. He's running something that the Cowboys in moments in the first 2 games, right? Daniel Jones in that first drive, you kind of had some issues with. Zach Wilson at the end of the first half, they had a little situation with. So something they have to be mindful of is Dobbs getting out here and running. And, of course, their run game with James Conner, you got to pay attention to that. Obviously, the Cowboys did a great job last week against that Jets run game. They don't keep that momentum moving forward in where it lands. Again, I am intrigued on a short week here with the Diggs injury just to see what Dan Quinn gets to. We've been playing a lot of single high. Will they still stick to that this week? And what do they rotate on the other side when it comes to the slot? But, ultimately, make sure Dobbs don't beat you with his feet and limit the run. It's going to be tough sledding for him. It's just where I kind of see it at. I yield the rest of my time to the speaker.
Nix. Good job. Way to keep it on topic. Good job, buddy. Spooky. So tell us about how Bart Scott matches up against our defense this week.
Cardinals offense against our defense?
Yeah, Cardinals offense versus our defense.
I'm gonna say they're gonna fight, of course. They're gonna fight as much as they can, but I can see them more with the RPOs. Dobbs like to run the ball a lot. We've seen. I know Gannon figures. Listen, we kind of struggled with that last year when he was the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, and that game they had when they just ran the clock out pretty much in the first matchup. So I can see more of the RPOs. I can see between him and Connor. I can see a lot of the gadget plays between Rondale Moore and Hollywood Brown. But at the end of the day, I just feel like this team is going to get up on points, and it's going to take them out the element where it's going to force them to throw the ball more. Same thing we did last week against the New York Jets with Zach Wilson. So, shut out, in my opinion.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Tom.
Well, just like the Cardinals defense, I would say the Cardinals offense is equally unimaginative and just very limited. It's just watching them play. I think the one key player, if I'm looking at James Conner, was already mentioned, but as Spoonie also said too, this just reminds me of kind of like the Jets. You have a really limited quarterback who wants to get the easy pass. If he doesn't get the easy pass, he will more than likely try to run. I just don't see how they can really take advantage of that and last all games. So I just think this defense still is just way too much for a really young team without their best player, who's probably being forced to study right now because, it's in his contract clause. So that's That's Arizona, man. It's dry in the desert this year. It's just like
a good one.
There's no well.
Literally, figuratively, all the way through. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this defense has a field day. Play them in fantasy if you can. Play the Dallas Cowboys defense in fantasy.
In my fantasy, I got Dallas defense and the 49ers defense because I'm in a 2 everything league. They're starting. Yeah. So I got Dak. I got
How'd you do
CD,
that?
I got Tyreek Hill. Like, I don't know. I just found one. I just went into a random league. I'm not with any friends or anything, but
you have 2 kickers.
Do you have 2 kickers?
Do you have 2
kickers?
Who are your 2 kickers? I need to know.
Don't get quiet now, one-handed. You said 2 everything. Who's the 2 kickers?
I said I don't know off the top of my head, but if I get out of the app, will it kick me out or will I still?
It's cool. Don't worry about it. You have 2
Don't
kickers.
Worry about it, brother.
I know I have decent kickers. I forget. But I think it was only 1 kicker, but everything else is like 2 or 3. Obviously, I had Tyreek Hill, I had Brandon Cooks, I had
Eddie O. I swear to God,
definitely saw a lot of people in a few of my fantasy because I'm in 4 leagues. I saw a few people picking up Aubrey off waivers. They picked up Aubrey a lot. He got picked up a
lot. I want to say this when it comes
to
our
Eddie O.
I want to say this with our offenses. Since Professor O showed the rush defense, the Cardinals, I think Pollard's going to have a big day. Running backs in general is going to have a big day up the middle.
Ooh.
I think he's outside. Either way we run, bro. Like, our line is very good. I wouldn't be surprised if Pollard had like a 100-yard game, maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns. Because McCarthy loves running that ball when we're up by 14 to 21 points, whatever. He just likes running in general, and we're gonna win the time of possession because they're not gonna be able to stop our offense. So we're gonna go crazy.
Mary.
Hi.
Hey, Cowboys offense versus the Cardinals defense.
Yeah. I just genuinely struggle to find a weakness.
Mary, you came in with the yeah.
I struggle to find I struggle to find a weakness. So I can't find it. I genuinely, in my whole heart of hearts, I cannot find it at this moment. Not against this team. I genuinely don't know what to say.
Bobby, you don't know what to do with your hands right now.
I have no idea. I mean, they performed well as a defense early on against
Shouts to my guy Lando,
the Giants, against the Commanders, and we already know that we are better than those teams. So they know that we all know that we're better than those teams.
Hey, I'm gonna be.
Lando, I'll be honest. Lando, we're typically better than this. There's been some things.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I mean,
no, you're good. It's this is a group effort here. I'm not singling nobody out. This has been a group effort tonight across the board.
We've just been,
That includes one-handed and toxic. Y'all part of that too. Just let y'all know.
Hey, I'm gonna be right back. I'll probably be back in like 10-15 minutes. I gotta take the dog outside. I'll be right back.
All right, brother. We appreciate you.
I mean, I love.
Look,
if
the spark.
Ultimately, we got this. Unless the ghost of Jason Garrett past comes back. We're good unless that happens. We're good.
Look, do the Sparks Notes version. We're going to BK and we're going to have it our way. That's the best way to put it. We're going to get it.
Hey, you know what, Toxic Tom? I fucks with you. Okay.
Sirens.
Call the popo. I don't know.
All right. Shout out to Lando. My thoughts on the defense, just kind of putting a bow on this game. The Cowboys offense should be able to impose the will. If you want to run, we should be able to run. if we want to pass, we should be able to pass. We already talked about the cornerbacks for the Cardinals. There's no way in the world Keitrell Clark or Marco Wilson are locking down our wide receivers. We have Brandon Cooks coming back to the equation, fresh off of the injury report. Glad to have him back. This could be a game where you start seeing guys like Jalen Tolbert and Michael Gallup getting more involved in the offense just because they already know CeeDee Lamb's such a formidable weapon for us. They may overcompensate knowing we don't have a Budda Baker there. We're going to have to double, maybe do some type of shell coverage or some bracket coverage, something like that. So when you do that, that opens up opportunities. So maybe the receivers we just mentioned, or maybe this is a big Jake Ferguson game. Maybe this is where you see Peyton Hendershot and Luke Schoonmaker start to be more productive. So, I do think our offense should be able to kind of make the Cardinals pick their poison. Gannon's seen us before coming from the Eagles, now there at the Arizona Cardinals, and looks like he might be a one-and-done coach. I know they probably don't want to continuously do that, but it's going to be a long year. I don't think the players are buying into him. So I think the Cowboys should be able to do as we please, especially knowing that we have Tyler Smith coming back this week. We have the full complement, knock on wood, that we're going to have Tyron Smith and Tyler Smith out there together at the same time. So as of right now, it looks like the offensive line should be in good shape. So I'm really excited for this matchup. Also, Lando, I don't know, since you haven't joined our show in a while, we have pinned at the top of the comments an open link for StreamYard. If you would like to give us your 2 cents, ask a question, come hang out with us. Same thing with anybody else in the chat. Please feel free to do that. It's in the comments right at the top.
In my best Denzel voice, chat, y'all think y'all going to do this to me? All these comments y'all keep posting here sideways, I'm going to keep running these lights. I'm going to put cases on all of y'all in this chat and what y'all been talking about tonight. Y'all are reckless tonight. My God. Spoon, this is your fault.
He got him riled up early. He did. No, I didn't really win.
You're right. You're right. You're actually right because Mary didn't come in with the wrangling. She's like,
I usually stop it.
I actually
cases on everybody in the chat.
I actually brought a mini toxic sermon tonight. If we talk college ball, there's something toxic.
We are.
Okay. Other than that,
we love
no. Don't let Tom off the hook. Tom was like, "Hey, I don't know if I'm gonna keep hanging around here with this wildness, but if y'all talking college ball, I'm gonna stick around." He was testing to see if we was gonna be talking college again or not. Yeah, Wrench Gang. What's
Chris Davis's fault. None of this stuff happened. None of these shenanigans were taking place until Chris Davis became a mod. Just throwing that out there.
Putting a case on you. Putting a case on you, Chris.
Hey, let us be great. I don't know. Let us be great. Let's just.
All right, where are we going next, though? Oh.
So we already talked offense. We already talked defense. We have a couple more things we're going to do. We're going to save the score predictions and player of the game till the end. This is our time for our third ever version of #Knicks Picks, where we give our guy BJ Knicks various college matchups, various NFL matchups, and maybe even some prop bets to see what Knicks is going to do. And my bad, Knicks brought it up in the chat. This is 100% on me because I tossed this idea like, hey, Knicks, you should do that, and he'd already done it previously. I haven't been keeping track of how he's done. We're going to go back and look to see how his predictions were. We're going to give you a running total so you know if when Knicks puts it in, locks the pick in, you should go ahead and bet on that or not.
I'm pretty sure
I think he's been 100% so far.
Games, I'm 100% on the over-unders. I might have missed a game here and there. But I'm over. I'm 100% on the over-unders. Now, I think I picked the Bengals over the Browns. Okay, I lost that one. Shush. Don't worry about that. But your over-unders in all your prop bets, I've been good so far. I ain't telling you how to bet, though.
I think so. So we have a lot of good college matchups. We're going to do our college football segment in a second. Then we're going to finish talking about this game, our official predictions and player of the game. So Knicks picks. Number 9 Notre Dame versus number 6 Ohio State. Who are you taking, Knicks?
I'm going to take Notre Dame.
Me too.
Notre Dame. Okay, so we have Notre Dame with a slight upset.
Yeah, I'm taking Dame. I don't believe in the quarterback over there in Ohio State. I'm sorry. I'm going with Notre Dame.
Anybody else on the panel have a? Anybody else on the panel or chat?
I'm definitely with Notre Dame. I agree.
Same.
Oh, all right. One last thing. My dad's a huge Notre Dame fan, and I grew up watching it like Rudy, but I didn't become a Notre Dame fan. I've seen Notre Dame blow it on the big stage so many times with the Bush push. And anyway, as much as it pains me to say this, I think Ryan O'Day will outcoach Marcus Freeman in the spotlight in this big moment game. I think Ohio State finds a way to get out of it. And I hate the Buckeyes, but I think Ohio State wins this game.
I think the coaching's different. We're seeing the old Notre Dame blow it down there in LSU. Yeah. I think it's different.
I think they got it.
It could be different. The last Marcus Freeman big game I saw, and this is really unfair, was the first game he coached at Notre Dame, and they lost. I think it was the Fiesta Bowl. It was some big bowl last year. And this is, I think, his first real test in a real situation where he is 100% the coach the entire year. And Ryan O'Day's been there before. Or Ryan O'Day, whatever the Ohio State chucklefuck coach is. He's been in this moment for so many times. I just think he's going to edge out Notre Dame. I do.
Chucklefuck? Is that what we're at tonight?
We're off the chains.
It's Friday. I don't know.
Okay. Next pick.
All right. So pick number 1. Nix took Notre Dame versus Ohio State. He took Notre Dame as his pick. Second college game, then we're going to jump into NFL. Number 19, Colorado versus number 10, Oregon. And this is tough because Bo Nix is BJ Nix' brother / cousin / something.
Week to week, man. Week to week.
This is a good one.
My brain tells me it's Oregon all day.
21-point spread, by the way, for Oregon.
But my heart.
What?
But my heart, and I am on the bandwagon. I am a Buffaloes fan. Sign me up. Man, it's going to be Oregon. I'm sorry, I can't do it. It's going to be Oregon.
I think it's Oregon.
Nix had us in the first half. Boy, so we have Roman taking Colorado.
I would love Colorado. Man, I love Colorado to win this thing so bad, but that defense line we talked about it before we got on here. That D-line I don't think it's quite there yet. I think the pace over there for Oregon as well is going to cause us some issues. I'm fighting with this. I really, really want to pick Colorado, but I'm not going to be like a particular guy who's going to split a gummy, take some shots, and then right before kickoff call and bet $10,000. I'm not going to do that, Mad Dog. I'm not going to do that. I would like to be that, but you know what? Oregon chokes too. See, now I'm in odds with myself.
You're talking yourself out of it. You're talking yourself out of it.
It's in Oregon, right? Though it's in Oregon.
Yeah, I think so. It's in Oregon.
Bo Nix ain't always. Damn it! I'm going Colorado.
Oh shit!
Do I get the points?
It's your pick, man. However you want to do it. You can say it's like picking the points, whatever you want to
do. Look. Colorado will cover the spread. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Wait, what's the spread though? I didn't hear that.
21 points. Oregon's favored by 21 points.
Oh no,
Oregon, I forgot to mention the rankings. Oregon's 10, Colorado's 19.
They'll cover that. They'll cover that at least.
I don't want to make it personal. That's why I said they're going to cover the spread. I gotta believe in my guy.
I don't know who's going to win, but
I don't.
That's you can cover that, yeah.
Tom.
I have to agree with Nix on this one. Give me the points. I think they can cover. Do I think Colorado will win? No. Do I think they can cover the spread, though, which is good teams get the W, great teams cover the spread? I think they can do that.
Okay.
My man.
Spoonie, Mary, any differing opinions, or you guys?
No, I mean, that spread, I think Colorado can cover that, but I'm just not sure. I don't know.
I'm taking Oregon on both the points and the win. I think Oregon breaks off of them. I do. I love Deion Sanders. I love what he's doing. We just saw them play, and I know teams sometimes you just have a bad game. Like it could just be the Colorado State, that rivalry and the hype and all that. But Colorado State is not a talented football team.
Very true.
They have one legit NFL prospect on their team right now. Colorado has several potential NFL prospects, but it's just too early. I think they're overachieving right now. I think in a year or two, with 2 more recruiting classes, they'll be a very legit team. but not having Travis Hunter, an actual Heisman caliber player, that's a huge blow. Their offensive line could not block Colorado State. Oregon has much better players on the defensive line than Colorado State. I just feel like the trenches when they start playing these bigger teams is gonna show. When you're playing a TCU who runs, kind of a funky defense compared to the rest of the NFL, not the rest of the NCAA, and you're playing teams like Colorado State, you might be able to get by. But when you're playing teams that have legitimate 5-star players at those positions, and Colorado will have those guys, they just don't have them yet. So I feel like they're a year or two too early. They're going to have a much better year than 1-11 like they were last year, and I'm really happy for them that they've had success so far. I just feel like this is a matchup, and once the season starts going, they start playing more conference play. There's going to be a couple games they lose, and if they win 9 games this year or something, that's a really good year compared to what they did last year, especially as year one of implementing a new offense, new defense, brand new quarterback, and all that stuff. But I long story short, I'm taking Oregon for both. I think this is going to be ugly for them.
Yeah, I mean, they only won 1 game last year. They've already won 3. Colorado's up.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you recall another time, by the way, where the spread was that large for 2 not like pretty decently ranked teams? I think that's the thing that threw me off. But I could see Professor O saying that's a honeypot too. Just don't buy it. So
it's true, but here's the thing though. Texas Tech put up numbers on Oregon.
They did.
Yeah. But sorry to interrupt you.
No. That's why we're having the conversation. It's fun. So 2 NFL games, Knicks. These are both interesting for completely different reasons. The 2-0 Philadelphia Eagles, who've won 2 games, can't take the wins away from them. They won. Great for them. Didn't look super impressive, but they did win. And the 2-0 Bucks, who actually have looked better than I expected for sure. Who are you taking in that matchup?
Bucks. Hey, the book of Baker is being rewritten right now, and he's finding Evans. Look, the Eagles' pass defense has not been good. It's not been good. And here's the other thing about the Bucks: they actually do stop the run. And thus far, it's been about their run game in Philly, and the Eagles' passing game hasn't come to fruition yet. I think the Bucks. Look, man, for me in that division before the season started, I thought New Orleans would go out here and win the division, and I thought they would win it fairly easy, not run away, but I thought they would win it fairly easy. And granted, they're 2-0. Shout out to Baker Mayfield, man. Give him the props. Give him just due right now, and how he's playing ball on the road in Minnesota, obviously, and then getting the win last week. So man, I think the Bucks are going to win this game. And look, and it's not even an Eagles hate thing. Be clear here. It's not even me like, oh, I'm a Cowboys fan, Eagles. I just think the Bucks are playing better right now.
Eagles fans always think it's an Eagles hate thing because that's what they do. It's a Cowboys hate thing. So
I saw that when we were doing. We have a pick'em league, and when I was looking at games, I was like, man, this is a game that a lot of people are going to lose money on because they're just going to be like, oh, it's the Eagles versus the Bucks. That's easy money. I know the Bucks are 2-0, but this game's probably going to be a lot closer than people are expecting. And based on the way that the Eagles had struggles against 2 teams that I don't think are playing as good as Tampa Bay right now, I won't be shocked. And the Eagles have given up 7 passing touchdowns, which is the most in the NFL. And Mike Evans is on an absolute tear right now. He is crushing it. And the Bucks are probably regretting that they did not give him a new contract before the season started because he wanted that money. He didn't get it, and he is lighting it up right now. So, Tom, Spoonie, Mary, you guys all going Bucks?
And never mind,
the chat was like 50-50, by the way.
I picked the Bucks as well because of the same thing. I know that, first off, I'm just going to speak on the AJ Brown thing. He's like, oh, we weren't arguing about catches. Stop lying, bro. Stop lying.
Say what your chest.
So first off, I agree that y'all aren't beefing. Y'all probably aren't beefing. I don't think there's an
No. Let's call the police
issue.
on AJ Brown for lying. No. He lying.
He's like, we're not beefing. I agree that they're not beefing, but what you are doing is lying about what you was doing on that sideline because you were mad about not.
What they call that on the stand, Mary? What they call that when you do on the stand? What do you do? What they call that? When you lie on the stand. What's it called?
Perjury.
There you go. We put a perjury case on him, Mary.
He's perjuring himself.
Yeah.
He lied to our faces, and he thinks that we fucking stupid. Sorry, I said the F word. My bad.
See?
He said, see. But the only thing I believed out of his mouth was like, me and Jalen aren't beefing. I agree that they aren't beefing. I agree that they're probably cool. They're cool as a fan. But in that moment, was he mad about not getting touches even though they were up double scores? Yes, 1000%. Bro, don't insult our intelligence. We know what it looked like. What else are you talking about? What else are you talking about? Being up 2 scores. What else are you mad about? And then they force the ball to you 2-3 times afterwards. What else are you talking about? Don't stop.
My prediction on the Eagles-Bucks game, I think Bucks win. What's the spread? Like, who they have winning? Eagles?
I have no clue.
I thought the spread was
Eagles are
I have no
5-point favorites.
Okay, I'm gonna say 28.
I do
21.
have the Bucks winning as well, though. I just checked my numbers. I do have it as well, though. Next.
Yeah, 28-21 Bucks win.
Yeah, I have the Bucks. Since it's Miss Mary Curse, I have to get mine out too. So I'm going to say respectfully that AJ Brown
sink the ship. Oh no, fire the cannons. My bad, not sink the ship. That was ours.
She stirred the pot. I got to keep going with it. So listen, when it comes to the Eagles, let's be honest. The pass defense ain't the same. They have 2 new coordinators, of course, right? You saw last week against the Minnesota Vikings. They were trying to operate from the pocket, which it led to 5 sacks on Jalen Hurts. So Devontae Smith became his best weapon 2 weeks in a row. Well, AJ Brown, we know what the fuck's going on. You're nervous. Option year is coming up. You know what option year is? Option year is something that we did to Amari Cooper that may happen to you. And that means that you may go buy somewhere else where the Eagles free up some cap space, and that money of yours goes to Devontae. But here, you know why you're selfish? Because last year, when Devontae was still, young in this game, he didn't beef. He didn't. AJ, you was the number 1 man. Now you beef.
It was hurt season.
Damn selfish in that sideline. Damn selfish. And here's another thing, y'all. I can't wait till we play I just can't wait because. You know what? I'll leave it at that. Bucks gonna win. I'm gonna stay in my lane. Bucks gonna win on Monday night.
Oh no! Don't you dare stop now, Spoonie. Don't you dare stop now.
Fine, I'm gonna keep going. Listen, end of the day, when it comes to this Philadelphia Eagles, as I said before, they eat shit, they talk shit, and repeat the same shit over and over and over and over. And like I'm saying right now, they're being exposed. That team is being exposed. We're the new king of the NFC East. We're the king of the NFL. Understand? We're gonna go somewhere.
All right.
It's not time for the sermon yet.
This is Nick's segment. I'm reeling this back in. This is BJ Nick's segment. I'm just letting you guys, contribute your thoughts too. Spoonie, appreciate it.
We cooked a little bit.
You did.
The Eagles are missing Gannon for sure.
By the way. Don't tune out of our show. Keep listening to us. But you're about to have an overtime matchup in college football. Virginia, NC State, going in overtime right now. Throwing that out there. All right, 2 more things for Nick's picks segment. Nick's Dak Prescott over or under 230.5 passing yards.
Up. It's up and it's stuck. It's over.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody disagree?
Over. I got him over. I say 350.
Oh, I like that.
We could have got through this quick. Oh, this is your fault. Hold on. Let me just go ahead and hit over this. You could have just asked me. We could have went on about our business. You opened it to the panel. This on you now, player. So go ahead.
It's a Freestyle Friday show. We're letting the people talk. So I got to let the people on the panel talk to us.
What one hand said 350?
I think Dak could throw for 350 on that defense.
You got to remember, one-handed said we might score 30 to 40 or even 50 points. So we're gonna put up some yards.
Hey, you know what? I'm not opposed to it because we got Brandon.
I like it.
And we got.
I think it's 300 at least. At least
back,
300.
Hopefully, yeah. Okay.
Mary, you over?
I'm over.
I'm gonna go.
I'm sorry, I was quiet because I didn't know you was going to say this. And be quiet.
No, I'm good.
Sorry.
Look,
Yeah,
look.
okay,
Okay, I'm good now.
I'll go over, but I think it's going to be a lot closer to the 250 than we all think. But that goes into my bold takes later down the road. So
Well, now you don't know what I think, sir. I just said over. I didn't say
you're
by
right.
how much.
230.5.
350 pounds.
What'd you say,
350, whatever.
The over under is 230.5 yards.
And what'd you say? What your
230.5.
So you
I think he'll go over.
Oh, what did I say? My bad. I'm going.
But
over.
I think it's going to be closer to
like
the
260,
230s.
270, something like that.
But irrelevant.
Yeah, I was saying,
Last one.
I was saying last week it was like 219 or 215. I said I think it'll be over. I think it's around 225-ish, 230. What do you end up with last week? 255.
Yeah.
So
Something
yeah,
like that.
I'm right there in the same ballpark.
That's crazy because they had the ball on the 40-yard line with 2 seconds left. So I don't know how that happened, but thanks for the update there. All right, last one of the Knicks pick segment. Tony Pollard, over under 92.5 total yards, rushing and receiving.
Oh, over.
Over.
Yeah.
Over.
If they'd been rushing, I would have took under.
Yeah.
But I'm taking over for the combined. I mean, he had 32 touches for 109 yards last week. So I guess a much better defense. That's an easy over there.
I agree.
I'm taking the over on just the rushing yards alone. I think he'll crack 100 this week against their defense.
That's spicy.
So recapping, Knicks took the upset, Notre Dame versus Ohio State. He took Colorado, not outright, but did take Colorado with the points against Oregon. Plus the points. He took the Bucks over the Eagles. Oh, I missed one. I knew I skipped one.
You did.
Okay.
I was just
so we took the 2-0. We took the 2-0 Eagles versus the 2-0 Bucks. The other matchup, which is completely interesting for the other reason, is you have the 0-2 Chargers versus the 0-2 Vikings. Both teams have lost close games back-to-back weeks. Both teams could easily be 2-0 right now. Knicks, that matchup. Pick one.
You know, the Vikings are at home, and that defense for them is atrocious. The one thing, though, I could say about Kellen Moore, when he's had it dialed up, whether it's with Dak or Cooper Rush against the Vikings, he's found ways to win. From their standpoint,
I took the Chargers.
The past couple of weeks. However, I don't care. It's the Vikings. That defense, look, yeah, that's fair. I mean, but that defense over there finds ways to lose games. And then if they're not able to stop things and it's close, we've seen Kellen Moore 2 weeks in a row situationally do things badly. I think Jefferson's about to have a monster game. I just do. And again, they're missing some. Jefferson's about to have a monster game. I mean, he's having a monster season.
I think Madison's going to have a big game as well.
But on the back end of that, right? I mean, they're missing their running back on that side over there for the Chargers. Yeah, I'm at home. Look, I think if this game was in LA, I'd probably go that way. The fact that it's in Minnesota, I'm going to leave Minnesota here.
It's interesting, too. Minnesota's only favored by 1 point at home, which means they're really not a betting favorite.
They're not.
Yeah,
right.
That means they favor. Yeah. Interesting.
Spoonie, Tom, who are you guys going with?
I'm going with the Vikings.
I think it's going to be the Vikings. I agree. The Chargers with no run. When they lost Austin Eckler, it just feels like that they're, especially in crunch time, they just get even more Kellen-ish. And the Chargers are kind of like the Los Angeles Angels. Whatever they touch just turns to shit. So they could have 11 All-Pros on that, and they would find a way for Marlon McCree to fumble that away and lose the game. It's just, I have no faith in that team. They find ways to lose almost every single year. And I think what's their head coach?
Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley, yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to be one of the first head coaches fired this year during the season. That's how bad I think it's going to get there.
Funny thing is, if Staley leaves, they still going to have a problem with Kellen.
That's great for us because then Jerry can't hire him.
Though.
Yep.
He'll be the interim. I think Kellen will be the interim, but I think they'll just watch the whole entire thing after the season. But we'll see.
Also Brian Flores for the Minnesota Vikings. He's done a good job with that defense. You saw Ivan Pace last week get some burn.
Very true.
In that little linebacker role, you seen Bynum the
Knicks
safety.
Guy, Ivan Pace.
Yeah, Bynum. He's
Knicks,
doing so.
A lot of people in the chat, but yeah.
Yeah, that defense playing last again against the Eagles. It was a lot of missed opportunities.
Well, I feel like they had some good moments, but overall they weren't good. The Vikings defense wasn't
There
good.
wasn't good against the run. They were good against the pass,
Yeah.
but it wasn't very good against the run.
You're right. Yeah.
They got to clean that up for sure. But again, Bengals, Chargers ain't gonna be able to run the rock, in my opinion. And now, so what does that get to for them? So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And then, look, and to your point, it's a great game that you picked for me to pick there. Just because, both these teams we know from the outset obviously had playoff aspirations ahead of them, both in the playoffs last year, right? And 0-3, that's damn near like you might as well just kiss the baby. You're not going to get there. So huge game early in this season for those two teams.
And the Vikings were aggressive this week too. They had multiple injuries to their offensive line. They went out and signed Dalton Risner or Reisner, whichever. I always forget whatever version of it is. And then they went and traded for Cam Akers because they had issues with Alexander Madison with fumbling.
Look, here's the thing.
But they said Akers is going to play. Akers is
going
to play this week. Akers isn't going to play. They said it's not going to play.
Yeah, I'm not expecting him to play this week, but I'm just saying they're already saying, hey, we know that the writing's on the wall if we don't turn this thing around. So they were aggressive in acquiring players this week. So it just shows that they know realistically we can't go 0-3 in this division. We gotta find a win. So I think that's an interesting matchup because you have 2 0-2 teams versus 2 2-0 teams, and both are. Go ahead, Nix.
I'm just saying they need to play your guy McBride.
Yeah, he's on the squad right now, but it doesn't look like they're.
I know, just elevate him and give him the burns. I'm sorry, I didn't mean somebody, but still, I don't know why they're not playing McBride. I'm sorry, your guy.
I'll give Eddie's guy real quick a shout out. Jordan Addison is going to be a phenomenal wide receiver too in that offense. He's going to be so good.
He scored an awesome touchdown against the Eagles.
He's got to start throwing him the fucking ball. Anyways, yeah.
Pause.
All right.
Pause. Hold on.
So Trey Lance was on the sideline this last game. Actually,
he's always he's the emergency guy, number 3.
Yeah, so he's going to be there either way.
Why do we need Trey to be active this game?
what are we doing? Yeah, he was out there. I don't know. He was on the sideline.
Maybe he's just saying because we're going to blow them out, so give him some snaps. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, moving on.
All right. So, next segment, we're going to talk college football. We'll be quick with this because it's already been an hour and 42-minute show because we spent 40 minutes talking about Bart Scott. So, we'll be quick with this. Games to watch this week. There's a lot of good matchups. This is by far the best slate of college football games. I'm saving one for Tom. I don't have it on my list for a reason because he's our resident PSU expert, so we're going to give him that one. We already talked a little bit about Colorado versus Oregon, but that's a matchup of number 19 versus number 10. Lots of NFL prospects for both sides. We already talked about that game, so we're going to fly through that one. There's one game I'm going to leave till the end. We're going to come back to it. Ole Miss versus Alabama is interesting because you have number 15 Ole Miss versus number 13 Alabama. Bama's just coming off of a rough win last week where they decided to bench Jalen Milroe after a loss to Texas, played much lower competition opponent, and struggled for 3/4 of the game. It was super brutal. They went through 2 different quarterbacks, and then this week said, you know what, Jalen Milroe, you weren't as bad as we thought. Now that I've seen the dating market, I had a good thing going. Come back. I miss you. You can trust me. That's where Alabama's at right now.
Big head, what's up?
Hey, big head.
Do we? You know what, Nick Saban, you fucked around and found out, didn't you, buddy? We're putting charges on you for quarterback abuse. Stupid Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And now look at you now.
So that's a game too that, aside from just the quarterback situation for Alabama, Mary brought him up 2 weeks ago. Jackson Dart for Ole Miss is actually doing really well this year. He's having a very good season so far. But you have Lane Kiffin versus Nick Saban. Lane Kiffin would absolutely love to beat his former boss, former employer, and has an opportunity this year where Alabama is not the Alabama of old. I just have a hard time believing Alabama drops this game, but that's a super interesting matchup. Alabama's a 6.5-point favorite, by the way. Real quick, Oregon State, who's number 14 versus number 21 Washington State. I'm bringing this game up because we talked a lot about the quarterbacks. Quarterback 2 through 8 in this class are kind of interchangeable. There's a lot of guys kind of moving up and down. Cam Ward for Washington State he is polarizing. You have people that think he's the 2nd or 3rd best quarterback in this class. You have guys that think he's a 6th or 7th round pick. We talked to 2 big-time prominent NFL scouts, and they are not believing the hype on him at all. They're saying, kind of Malik Willis type of vibes, like could go in round 3, but really he's probably around 5 or 6 type of guy. But they wanted to see how he played against better opponents, and so far he's done really well. That was preseason, by the way. So far, he's done really well. I think he has 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's running the ball for 95 or 100 yards, something like that. He's been really good. So he's an interesting guy. Wanted to shout out him. Ohio State, Notre Dame, we kind of talked about already. That's a game that could go either way. I think that's going to have big ripple effects because they're both top 10 teams. The last game I want to talk about is FSU, number 4, versus 2-1 unranked Clemson. That is an interesting game. It is a 2-point spread. 2-point spread against you have a number 4 team playing an unranked team with a 2-point spread. That means they are begging you to bet on this game. They're begging you to bet on this game. I can't remember ever seeing a top 5 team play an unranked team and only be a 2-point favorite. That is like, pay attention to that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying Clemson's going to upset them, but they think something's going to happen in this game. Just keep an eye on that one. So that game's going to be interesting for a lot of reasons. We already talked about a lot of the guys on the FSU side. Keon Coleman's been really good. He had some injury issues. I don't know if he's playing this week, actually. So Mendoza, let us know in the chat if he is. But again, Clemson dropped the first game against Duke. It looks better now. And Florida State struggled against Boston College last week, but pulled off the win. A lot of the top 5 teams struggled too. My Bulldogs did as well. So that's a really interesting game. If you're watching any game this week, that's one of the ones you want to watch, and definitely the Ohio State Notre Dame game. Go ahead.
I mean, here's the thing: if FSU, they typically just have those kind of games in Boston College, so you have to understand the rivalry and stuff like that. They just simply kind of struggle with them. Look, I've watched Clemson. They're kind of in a downtrodden year as well too. I don't think they're figuring things. They'll figure things out. I mean, they'll be good enough. They'll get bowl eligible, whatever. I think it's different for FSU this year. I just do. I think they're figuring things out there. They're putting things together in the right realms. That'll be interesting. That's only. I'm with you. That 2 points is very, very interesting. I think FSU gets it done. But that's an interesting point there, and seeing. Yeah, and look, and I know because I have a good friend of mine. Yeah. I'm behind the FSU team, but I have a great friend, a longtime childhood friend who's an FSU fan. He's like, just when we think they turned the corner, they find a way to drop it. And he's so nervous about this game. I talked to him a little earlier today. He is so nervous because he really wants to believe. But he said, I got to see it after Clemson. And maybe there's some of that involved here in the Vegas spread here as well. And, of course, coming off of what happened against Boston College.
Yeah. Tom, anybody want to chat about that game real quick? Tom,
everybody's quiet now.
I mean,
nobody wants to talk anymore.
I saw it. I saw what was going on. I'm excited to see it, but I have nothing invested. That's what I love about most college sports is that I usually don't have anything emotionally invested. I'm like,
yes, me and you. That's us right now.
I can just watch and I can just be like, woo, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, is Texas playing tomorrow? Or
good question.
We don't talk about Texas around here, sir.
No, Texas plays Baylor. Yeah, they play tomorrow night.
Okay.
I'm just joking one-handed.
That's all good. That's all good. Y'all think that Texas is gonna beat Baylor?
Yeah,
the question is Texas back?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
They're much better than they've been, but I don't think they're back yet.
They're back?
I don't think they're back.
You're okay. Just got to test the waters. Got to see. Look, I'll tell you what though, that quarterback yours has showed me something though.
Yeah, yours is
that last game
dope.
was. And going into the fourth quarter and pulling the team to the side and certain things he's done. Man, I give him a lot of props. You had a lot of my respect there. And how he's handled the situation down there and in real time and what he's done on the field. So salute to him over there and what he's been doing in Texas. I don't know if they're back either. That's why I asked the question.
Back, but
they have a top 3 wide receiver duo in college football though. Worthy and AD Mitchell are very, very, very good. Sure. Both legit NFL prospects. Worthy's probably a first round pick, and Mitchell's going to be more in like the round 2 to 4 range, but really good player. Former Georgia Bulldog. Just thought I'd mention that. Go Dogs.
Yeah, do it. I mean, do it. I mean, you got the shirt on anyways, player. Do
what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So last game before we end this segment, I'm gonna leave it to you, Tom, because we have a matchup of number 7 undefeated Penn State versus number 24 undefeated Iowa Hawkeyes.
Penn State's number 7?
Wow. Texas. I hope Texas stays dormant. How about that? No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's okay.
I don't want to piss off the Longhorn Nation.
I'm not.
When I was in college, I had to go. Excuse me, I didn't have to go. I would go to most Penn State games, and they would offer shuttles or buses or whatever, and you could go to different places around the country. So I've been to Columbus, been to Ann Arbor, been to a lot of places, and there's only one place I've been that I saw Penn State when they had guys hurt on the field, that their fans would actively boo the team. And it's those damn corn-fed, inbred Iowa one-room schoolhouse motherfucking Hawkeyes. They are just that school to me. It's just wow. You're gonna go. You're gonna go put cancer kids in front of the window at their hospital and wave at them like they're pets at the shopping mall, just so you feel good about yourself. When you are scum. That's all you are. You and Bart Scott are scum. I hope Penn State.
Agree on Bart Scott.
I hope Penn State skull drags them out of Happy Valley and leaves them as roadkill. That's all I have to say.
Wow, Tom.
I mean,
no harsh thoughts there.
Really
Actually, Tom. Won't you tell us how you really feel?
Look, there are a few things I can't stand. If a guy gets hurt, don't be in jest about it, especially when these college kids aren't making money at all, and you're going to boo this kid like the Iowa Hawkeyes did. And then to make yourself feel better, you're going to take a bunch of sick kids that are dying of cancer. You're just going to wave on them on national television just to say you care. Like, get the F out of here. Those are the type of fans the Iowa Hawkeyes are. And that's just, I can't stand it. They're phonies. They're straight up phonies. And my wife is from Iowa, by the way, so I hope she can't hear me saying this right now.
Jay Moonlight chiming in with a question here. What are the top college cornerback prospects? Asking for a friend. Well, number one, now, do we need one in the first round next year? Maybe.
Well, it depends
on who you ask.
But that ain't nothing to do with Diggs, though. That depends on what happens with Gilmore or whatever. It's not Diggs. But moving on to the top college cornerback prospects. I mean, Travis Hunter's not coming out this injury, whatever. He wasn't going to be able to come out this year anyways, if I'm not mistaken. So he's off the board. Go right ahead, one hit. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
Yeah, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, that it just depends on Gilmore, whether he wants to retire or doesn't want to sign another contract or whatever.
I loved what we had these first few games. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about it. Oh, they kept playing highlights. I was at the restaurant trying to enjoy my life, and I literally accidentally yelled out, "Stop fucking playing highlights!"
Damn, scared me. I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready either. I was like, "Stop playing them. Stop."
Any couple guys here, Matt or Tom?
So
or anyone
cornerback prospects, Mendoza. That's a pretty good list right there. For those who don't know, Coley McKinstry plays for Alabama. You have Kalen King. From Penn State. Javon Bullard, Georgia Bulldogs. Kamari Lassiter, Georgia Bulldogs. A couple other names I mentioned would be Nate Wiggins, who plays for Clemson. You can watch him. I think he's like 6'1", 6'2", pretty good size cornerback. Denzel Burt, Ohio State. Keep an eye on him. A guy that I'm really high on, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about. Well, Josh Newton had a rough game against Colorado, so he's kind of fallen out of people's interest. But I still like him. But Jason Marshall Jr. from Florida, it's the Gators. I hate the Gators, but he's a name to keep an eye on too.
I like how as soon as I put up TC talking about Mary's a gangster, Mary directly went to pulling her hair back. I'm like, who's she about to fight? What is going on here?
Okay.
Holy cow.
Okay, so Matt, Spoonie, Nix, they met me in person. I'm small, but I am a little feisty, okay?
Oh. Raisin nut size feisty. So that's been the theme tonight. Spoonie, you had another cornerback you want to throw in there? Or no?
For me, I like Kool-Aid McKinstry from Bama.
Okay.
That's my guy.
There's another guy I'd throw out there too. If you watched UNC last year, you probably remember him. But Tony Grimes, playing for Texas A&M now, he's probably more of like a third or fourth round guy at this point. But he's also a guy that has good film and could jump up the rankings. And last guy I'd mention is Cam Hart for Notre Dame. So that should give you a pretty good list of cornerbacks to keep an eye on, and we'll talk about more of them as the season goes. So that's been our college football segment. Let's get back to the Arizona Cardinals game and wrap this thing up. Almost 2 hours in.
Oh.
Go ahead, Nick. It's your show.
Oh no. So you're doing fantastic. I'm enjoying life. Look, actually, go right ahead. Let me I'm just gonna, go right
All right,
ahead.
we got host in the house. So what we're gonna do right now, One-Handed Bandit, Talk to Tom. We're gonna start with you two. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. Again, this is a Freestyle Friday show. If you haven't joined before, we always have it pinned to the top. You are welcome to jump in and join us. If you don't want to be on camera, you can have just the audio like One-Handed Bandit has now, or you can have the camera on like he had on earlier. Shout out to Talk to Tom for that too. If you don't want to join at all because you can't, you're at work or whatever, we've had Bruce previously jump on, ask a question, jump out because he's at work. You can ask questions in the chat. We'll try to get to them too throughout the show. But putting a bow on this, we're going to start with One-Handed Bandit, then go to Toxic Tom, and then we'll end it with the four of us. Score prediction, One-Handed Bandit, for this game and your player of the game.
I'm going 40-3, and the player that's going to be the biggest impact is Dak. Gonna throw. I think he's gonna throw for 350, 3 touchdowns. 1 to Brandon Cooks, 1 to Gallup, 1 to CD.
Okay.
You're gonna spread it around.
Oh. TC, I'm turning over a new leaf.
Yeah,
we can't be doing the 4-hour shows anymore. TC, we can't do the 4-hour shows anymore. I've been told, I've been wrangled. Can't do 4-hour shows anymore. Okay, so it's a new day, and it's a new day, a new era. You know what I mean? It just rock. We're giving you 2 hours though tonight. First time of the year, great show. Welcome back, Weed, for sure. And then I'll get out of the way. Go right ahead. Keep do your thing. Oh, it's killing it tonight, y'all. Man, fire up the emojis. Oh, I had to step in that little things.
Yeah.
It's been wild over here. Oh, it's been killing tonight, man. Shout out to O.
Sometimes they say next man up, right? Next man up is the theme of the week for us. And
even with the bad thumb. Even with the bad thumb. I mean, O just out here.
Bad thumb. I'm over here. I'm the one-handed bandit this week. I'm doing it with just my right hand. My left hand's injured. No, One-Handed Bandit, before you jump off again, we appreciate you rocking with us. If you're on Twitter, where can people find you?
Oh yeah, it's I don't know off the top of my head, but if you see my name, it's One-Handed Bandit. I'm always in the comments of Nick's and Tuck, so I have the same photo. So, but yeah, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll be back next Friday, and thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, don't go anywhere. We still got the Spoonie sermon. Y'all don't want to be. If y'all stuck around this long, don't miss the Spoonie sermon at this point.
Oh, okay. I thought I had to leave. It's all good. All right.
No, you're good, brother. Stick around. Stick around.
You're good. I just wanted to make sure before we move on that you got a chance to plug that. So again, appreciate that. Our guy, Mr. Not So Toxic Tom, Mr. Maybe All In Toxic Tom. Score prediction, player of the game.
I will go 45-9. Big reason why is because I think we will not even have Dak playing in the fourth quarter. I think it's going to be some Cooper Rush playing time. I'm going to be playing because I think it's just going to be that out of hand. Player of the game. A little bit. Oh, I told Coach, Lance better not dress. Player of the game, I think it's going to be Micah Parsons. I think Micah Parsons took it personally. And like who said it earlier, the Arizona Cardinals just need to tell themselves it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. While the Cowboys take the belt to their bare ass, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Quick question for Toxic Tom. Are you betting on the Cowboys this year?
I already have bet on the Cowboys this year. I took the Cowboys. I took the Cowboys against the Giants because when I saw that the line was even that ridiculously small for Daniel Jones playing, and I sat next to my father and I saw the life of him just drained by halftime. Oh yeah.
Explain that to me.
So you can't see it here. You have to be on YouTube. You have to be on YouTube. Oh, I can't get it to zoom in.
I got you.
Okay. I can't do it. Look on YouTube. It'll make sense. So on A to Z Sports, we were talking Josh Dobbs. Okoye and Sky had a picture of him pulled up. And somebody said, there's got to be an emoji that looks like this dude. And I found this on the YouTube chat. I'm like, no, there is an emoji looks just like Josh Dobbs. So now that we're all just, Josh Dobbs.
I know
Okay,
it is.
okay,
I know
okay.
it is.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. So far in the chat, this is blowout central. We have 45-3, I think, from One Handed Bandit. Tom went 45-9. Is that right?
Yeah,
We
9.
have
I had 40-3.
40-3. Okay. We have a 44-7. We have a 40.
We got
Something.
30-17.
45-7.
I got you. We got a 30-17 from Moonlight. We got a 27-13 from I Love Weed. Says no need for a blowout.
Always a need for a blowout.
Yeah, always a need. 37-9 from Gregory, and then the 45-7 from Rowett, and a 45-6 from Eddie O.
Yeah, so everybody's expecting blowout so far. So, Mariella, ladies first. Score prediction.
I got 37.
And play of the game. 37-6. And play of the game.
There's definitely going to be a hit or sack scoop for a touchdown.
Call your shot.
Called that
Who's
shot.
it going to be?
Who's the player of the game?
It's going to be, you know what? It's going to be DeMarcus Lawrence.
Love it. Love it. I was going the same way. Love it. Love that prediction. Mary's cooking on this show. Spoonie, score prediction. Player of the game.
50-6.
Oh!
Okay. Player of
Love
the game,
it.
Spoon.
Play of the game's going to be Deron Bland.
Deron Bland. 2 INTs.
Yes,
I love
sir.
it.
All right.
Mr. Nix,
You're changing it up.
Yes. Sorry.
Changing it up.
Yes.
score prediction. Player of the game.
I think the defense is pissed. I think the defense is very pissed. I think this game's 37-0. I think it's a shutout.
Oh!
I don't think the Cowboys give up points this game. I mean, tell me where. Tell me where. Tell me where. Dobbs? Who? James Conner scare y'all?
Maybe just a lucky 3. That's what I think.
Nah.
End of the game.
I don't think it's
Eddie-O, you are right. I'm cooking and I'm drinking. Eddie-O, you're right. I'm doing both.
What you drinking over there, Mary?
Well, this is some it's called.
Oh shit! Read it. Can you read it?
Deep Ellum Brewing.
It's
It's a Dallas local beer, but it's Cadillac Bandito. But also
sounds fancy.
I've had a little bit of tequila.
Oh,
I'm drinking some Modelo.
I do love some Modelo, but I like this Cadillac Bandito. It's delicious. It's a Deep Ellum. Deep Ellum is like my neighborhood right over here in Dallas. So,
right.
Yeah.
10-4. But again, I'm going Cowboys 37-0. It is what it is. I think the defense is pissed off about everything that's happening in opening and talking about Bart Scott and everything else. I think they look to borrow from Coach Prime. It's personal, and they're going to take that and put that on the field. And I think they're going to get another shutout, and they're going to say, I think this defense wants to say, man, it's for our guy Diggs and everything else. But Kerr said it in his tweet. Man, this shit don't stop. And I think they're going to go out here and make a statement. So again, the Cowboys will play. Could the Cowboys score 40-50? They might could, but we know this team is going to play complementary football offensively. And once they're up by a certain amount of points of what's going on, that'll kind of limit it. So give me 37-0 Cowboys.
37-0 Cowboys. And your player of the game was?
Got to play a game. Play of the game. Who is it?
Oh, player of the game. Give me. I don't want to take. That's the one. I'm gonna take Dak. I don't care. I'm taking Dak. I'm taking Dak. I think Dak's gonna have a good game, man.
I think someone else that could be player of the game who's been balling out is Osa. I wouldn't be surprised if Osa balls the hell
been
out.
balling out all year. Yeah.
All right.
Like foolishness. Go right ahead, start your time.
All right. So I'm agreeing with you guys too. It very much feels like this Cowboys team. I think they would have blown them out regardless, but I feel like they're extra chippy this week based on how things are going. I think it's going to be a lopsided game. I'm going to say 31-27 6. I could see them getting 2 field goals. How they get 2 field goals, I have no idea. They shouldn't get 2 field goals, but maybe I'll give them 6 points. I feel like that's being generous. It's that time of year, we're almost it's almost October. Start giving out little Halloween treats here and there. We'll give them 6
little
points.
candy. Give a little candy.
What's going to be interesting is the Cardinals have only allowed 1 sack this year. I think the Cowboys are going to get 4 or 5 on them. I'm going to go player of the game. I like where Mary's. I know Mary's been drinking. I know she's been cooking, but I'm buying what she's cooking tonight. I'm taking DeMarcus Lawrence. I think he's going to have 2 sacks. And somebody in the chat asked, is he scoring or is he getting the sack and force the fumble? I think he's going to do both. I think he's going to get a sack, fumble, strip sack.
Oh, you doubling
pick
down.
it up and score a touchdown. I'm doubling down. I'm going all in on.
You tried to get him last week.
All in on Tank. I bet last week it didn't work. Micah was the one that almost had it. I'm going back. I'm going to call my shot again. Scoop and score. Strip sack.
And of course, look. And my guarantee last week was 100 yards for Ferguson, a touchdown. I got the touchdown. I barely missed 100 yards, though, guys. Come on, I barely missed 100 yards for Ferguson.
No, I mean, I have
he didn't have 50 yards.
No,
he didn't have 50. No, Mary. He didn't have 50 yards receiving. No, I didn't.
No, it don't matter because he had the touchdown. He got me enough.
He got the touchdown, though.
That's all I needed.
Should have had 2 touchdowns, right? Just the overthrow. He could have had a really good game.
Sure, right.
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it.
All right, so that's all we for tonight.
It's a beatdown.
Just kidding. We got a spooky segment.
Call the police because it's a beat down in Arizona. Assault and battery. Everybody's got assault and battery on Arizona. Light it up and call the police out there in the desert.
I'm just saying, we talk college football for a while on this show because we love college football and we just football junkies. Arizona should be watching college football tomorrow. That's their season. They should be pro scouting right now. Like, who are we drafting and developing? Who is our next guy? Because the guys we have here probably are not the guys, and the coach we have here probably is not the guy. So let's go ahead and just start looking at college football. They should be all in college every week and not worry about Sundays. Just stimulate through that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Spoonie, are you ready?
Unmute. All right.
Okay. All right. Spoonie is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, the Spoonie sermon is upon us.
It's been a crazy couple of days. But to the Arizona Cardinals, I just want to say, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. See, it's a stupid mother fault on what's going on. You see, it's one thing to put us down, Cowboy Nation down, the team, the fans, but it's one thing to get fucking personal. It's one thing. And you took it there. Y'all took it there. Right now, Arizona, you are wanted. You wanted because of phony, pathetic people in the four-letter network who keep talking the same shit over and over. And I respect the females. I respect women. But I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're wearing the wig, maybe you ought to take it back because maybe the chemicals is messing with your head and what you're picking. Yeah, I keep it 100. So, and I'm keeping it on point. Because the whole time, from last year, years before, up and coming to this year, all we've been getting is being fucked with. So because you're fucking with us, we're going to fuck with y'all back. See, here's the difference. It's one thing to beat a team and go home. See, we're not going to do that. Since you want to talk about Cowboy Nation, we're going to give you something to talk about. We're going to annihilate every fucking team that's in our schedule. Every team. You talk about complimenting football. We're going to compliment, all right. All the bullshit that y'all had came and put out, we're going to give you something in return to talk about even more. You can doubt us all day long. You can troll about injuries here and there. You can nitpick on interception, touchdown, how many points the offense score. You can do all of that because right now, what we're about to do right now is take the world by fucking storm. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, yes, we are. Why? Because we are America's team. We are the best fucking team on the planet. We give y'all the ratings. We get the most jerseys sell. Hell, we own any motherfucker in here. Understand that. Cowboy Nation, we all on the fucking network. We on all social media. We are the fucking bomb. We are the shit that everybody want to be like. That's why we're hating on, but that's okay. That's okay because it's meant for us to talk that shit this season. Yes, it is. I don't care about my cussing right now. I don't give a fuck what anybody's saying, anybody watching, because I'm going to tell you this right now. All I'm doing is giving you not a prediction, but a fucking spoiler. And the spoiler alerts come and say the Cowboys are coming to everybody's town and spanking that ass. When we're home playing, it's our house. When we're in your stadium, it's our house. The whole season going to be ours. We're going to take the whole fucking world, put on that glove like Thanos, and snap our fucking fingers. And guess what? Y'all going to all disappear. And guess what? Cowboy Nation will be all together celebrating this championship run. Because why? It's destined to happen. It's going to happen. And y'all understand. Y'all know it's going to happen. Because that's why y'all keep talking the same shit all the fucking time. But thank you. Thank you. I love it. We love it.
Thank you. Duh.
Dobbs, Arizona Cardinals, it's not your fault. It's their fault. I mean, to be honest, you have to play the game because on the schedule. But, you know, if you're trying to end your season early to draft that quarterback number one, don't worry about it. We're going to do it for you in fashion. Service is done.
He said,
Yes, sir.
service is done. Service is done, guys. Okay.
All I know is just feel like I need the lights on now for this entire time. Like we started, he was like beeping himself in the beginning, and like the first like 2 words, and then it didn't matter anymore. And we're hiding wives. I don't know. Like just for safety reasons of Pick Six Sports for this entirety of this Freestyle Friday show at different times and different lengths for everybody. Chat, y'all too, and leave me out of this. I'm just gonna leave the lights on, man. Look. We're going to self-regulate. We're going to talk to the commission, and we're going to put ourselves on a self-regulated downtime, so they don't have to show.
See, Nick thinks he's smooth too. Like Nick saw the direction the show was going early and was like, "Let OB host tonight." So I'm gonna be the one to talk to Roger Goodell, trying to explain, you know, what actually happened. It's just out of context, right? This is all out of context.
You're right. You're not wrong.
I lost control a long time ago, and you just got, when things you stepped in, I was like, "Oh well, you know, O's got it. O's got me."
Listen. I could keep going, you know. But
You already have your sermon, sir.
We know.
It's late.
We know.
I keep this shit rolling. Understand? This is our fucking time. I'm serious here. This is our weekend. I'm telling y'all right now, we are this shit. And they know this is our fucking time. We're gonna take over the whole fucking world. I'm telling you that right now. It's gonna happen. Week to week, they're looking stupid and dumb, like as always. You gotta clown this morning. Gonna talk about players? Where the fuck was you at as a backup? You know what? I know where you was at. You was the tail of the donkey, the jackass. That's why I understand why he said it. He said what he said.
Right, we gotta mute him at some point.
All right, Spoonie. Real quick, final thoughts, everyone. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Go Cowboys. One-handed bandit. Last word.
Yeah, last word now. We're going to go out there and destroy the Cardinals and make a statement. You don't talk crap. You don't take it personally. You don't take personal shots. And Bland's going to go out there and show the world that he's him. He's going to take that spot while Diggs is out this year and prove that you can't just throw at him like teams did last year to Anthony Brown or whoever it was. So we're going to go crazy. We're going to destroy these Cardinals and leave. Go back home. That's all I got to say. Thanks for having me.
Last word. Thank you, bro.
You one-handed.
Enjoy the weekend. You got nothing to worry about. Enjoy the free bye week.
Ooh,
well, or as my guy Eddie O says, we're preseason game number 6, as he calls it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll respect any opponent, but I feel like I don't believe in a trap game with this team, so I think we're good, and I'm excited about next week. I'm going to the game with the Patriots, so if y'all see me there, say hi. But yeah,
Spoonie, Mr. Understand This.
Let's dominate, then celebrate.
Appreciate that. Knicks.
Yeah, actually, I want to kind of show, my hat off here a little bit.
Please
On the
do.
backside. Yeah. Look
Yeah.
check out this backside. I mean, that's the front right there, right? But man, you get over to the backside, man, these nice, flowers, everything. Says y'all got to show off the shoes. I'll show off the hat. Man, it's been fun tonight. Honestly, with everything you told me, it's been super fun. Oh, great job, Mary. Way to throw that gas on Spoon. Spoon, way to chef it up and cook. We've heard everything. As TC, shout out to Rich Gang. I mean, we've heard it all. We have heard it all tonight. Whether it's Chuckle Fuck, Molly Watt. I mean, I can say where the hell I want to now. Who cares? Skull Drag. I mean, the whole nine. But it was fun though, man. Nah, it was super. It's what Freestyle Friday is about. We encourage you to come up here as we had 3 people through tonight, man. It's super fun. If it goes off the rails, it goes off the rails. That's what this show's about. You tune in Wednesday for the analytics. Tonight we have fun and get through some segments and everything. So we appreciate everybody rocking with us for over 2 hours. With that being said, of course, Sunday during the game, if you want to tune in with me and Lando at the Pro Sports Fan app, download that, go over there. We live react during the game. We got 4 weeks left, so we got 4 games left that we're doing that this year. Slide over there and check us out. And of course, no matter what's happening, man, it's always forward. Look, and it's a thing I live with in life. And guess what? Diggs is gone. Guess what, Cowboys? NFL won't care. It's always forward. So salute to everybody. Have a great weekend.
Yes. Real quick, want to give a shout out to our guy Dom. He's at a wedding. I think he officiated the wedding. So congratulations
marrying
to
his
his
nephew.
nephew.
He's marrying his nephew.
Congratulations to his nephew.
Oh.
Yeah.
yes.
Outlaw, may as well throw that up there since the show gone that way anyways tonight. My real quick thing I want to throw out there is before this season, nobody in the history of Major League Baseball, might as well throw baseball in the mix, has had a 30 home run, 60 stolen base season until Ronald Acuna did that. Nobody has ever had a 40 home run, 60 stolen base season until Ronald Acuna accomplished that tonight. Ronald Acuna is the Atlanta Braves. He is 2 stolen bases away from being the first ever. Keep in mind, there's never been a 30-60 guy. He's about to be the first 40-70 guy, 40 home runs, 70 stolen bases in Major League history. So, my teams, it's upside down. Damn it. There we go. My teams so far are undefeated, number 1, Georgia Bulldogs, best record in baseball, Atlanta Braves, and 2-0, soon to be Super Bowl champ, Dallas Cowboys. Going 3 for 3 this year. Appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. Go Cowboys. We'll catch you guys next time.
Get it.